All right. Welcome back, everybody. We are live for episode 5 of the third season of our Traveler Adventures. We have decided to call this entire campaign Raiders of the Lost Coins. And by we, I mean I have made that decision as the GM. I didn't give you guys a vote. So, last time, you guys had staged a daring rescue of a fellow expedition crew. You had driven across an Arctic tundra, battled snow worms, came back to this outlet downport that you had originally done an investigation here because everyone was brutally murdered, as far as you can tell. And they're hostile forces here. There's a strange ship that's coming on. You have rescued the party. You've got them in your truck. And as we open the scene, because we ended last time on a super cliffhanger where, Thodubs was kind of milling around in the back, not sure what to do, and he got spotted. And we stopped right as the guard turned his rifle onto Thodubs, and should have been about to shoot, and we cut to black. So as this moment opens up and these bump 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 heartbeats open up, and your last few days flashes in front of each of your characters' eyes, why don't each of you tell me where your character is, what he's thinking about over the last few days, meaning things I forgot and glossed over in that very short introduction, and just the state of being of the person right as they are. You don't have to tell me what your grand plan is to beat the scenario. Just cinematically, as the camera pans past each of you, what does it see? And we are going to start. We're going to end with Thodubs because he's the one that is, triggering the action scene. So we're going to start at the top, and we're going to start with Ronan.
Okay, so Zane is inside the building. We'd crawled out underneath the building and snuck our way in. And we're back in the little computer database room, and we're thinking of ways to see what we can do to either disable or take out any of these defenses so we can get all the people we just rescued onto our ship without dying. Yeah. About it.
Excellent. Kizik? Otto is very close by to this whole scene, and you're probably the only player who has a view of what's happening other than Thodubs.
Otto is he was hiding behind a thing. He was going to go around the corner. He said, "No, I'm going to come back. I'm going to make sure my buddy makes it across." He watched his buddy kind of walk back and forth, and he's posted up. He's trying to decide, am I going to pull my pistol? I kind of got a shot. Not the best shot. I've never shot somebody. I shot a snake that one time, but that's all I've got. Also, this guy's now turned and looking down here, so I'm trying to hide behind everything, and I'm just super worried about making a wrong decision and trying to, but I can't. Oh, he's just struggling. There's a bead of sweat coming down his hand as he's shakily holding his flechette pistol, going, this is definitely gonna work. And it's silent, so I got a good advantage there. And oh man, we're gonna have to shoot a guy.
So I imagine that what you actually see is just Otto standing there sweating profusely, nervously glancing between the bad guy and his pistol as all of these thoughts are running through his head. Kizik, don't forget to go back and do sound checks, but it sounds like your voice is good. Ghost.
Zigzag's heartbeat is really fast, faster than even normal for his little bird stature. He's terrified at the moment. He's spent the last couple weeks here on this frozen ice planet, sometimes tripping out, sometimes making coffee for his boys. And at the moment, he really wants to get back home with Sarah and the rest of her crew, if he can. Right now, I'm in the comms room, and terrified right now, and I don't know what to do, so I'm kind of panicking, but I'm going to take care of some stuff, hopefully.
It makes sense. This party is not a party of hardened mercenaries. You guys are archaeologists. You're professors. You're scientists. So this is very out of your element for you guys. Your last party would have looked at these mercenaries and been like, Psh, yeah, okay. This is a whole different scenario for you. And the only person who's really comfortable with combat is even nervous because, as Mike Coleman from Sarah's group, a gunslinger, a hunter who has joined this group mainly out of friendship to Sarah and Tina, he can take on any one of these guys, he thinks. But there's 4 of them at least, probably more. And, he's doing some sort of like prayer ritual thing as his very special revolver is sort of like laid across, like he lays his head like in a salute across the gun as he's trying to close his eyes and calm himself for what may be his last moments. And then the camera spins down off the roof and comes down towards John Reese, who's just locked eyes with this mercenary. He's looking down the wrong end of this mercenary's assault rifle.
Yes, there's definitely a moment in Reese's mind right now where he's got his mouth up and going, "Oh fudge," and definitely not very happy, very scared. At the point where one of those moments of your life flashing before your eyes, kind of thing. This has never happened to him before. He's never looked down the barrel of a gun before. He has used guns, but not on that end of the gun. So he is at a place where his heart's doing the rabbit beating, and he's sweating, and his first inclination is to duck, dive, run, and to get away from there as fast as possible. But he is definitely having one of those out of body, researcher, they go through your life kind of experiences.
Okay. Very good, guys. I like that. Kizik, where sound check's okay? I could come up in volume. Okay. Let me see if I can come up in volume. Talk amongst yourselves for a second.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, we're going to talk amongst ourselves, guys.
Well, we're going to have some good times here, and we'll see if we can come out here alive at the end of this.
Yeah, let's try not to die.
It'll be a good time one way or the other.
You know how Indiana is constantly fighting like Nazis and stuff? It would be just sweet if we could figure out if these guys were kind of like on that level. And then I would have way less problem,
I mean, we gotta figure out who they are first.
We could definitely start using quotes like Nazis, I hate these guys, kind of thing.
Exactly.
I figure we can figure that out once we figure out who they are and get out of here. Kinda done with the Ice Planet.
We still have, like, their ship is out searching for there's a radioactive signal or something. They don't really know yet. So, that we might still have to deal with that.
I mean, now that we've seen them, we should probably disable comms or do something along those lines. Or now that they've seen us, not we've seen them.
Yeah, they've seen Thodops.
Yeah, they just saw me, so I don't know if they know that you guys actually exist other than just this weird guy hanging out around the corner here, so that may play off into an advantage of some kind.
You should be like, yoo-hoo!
Like those Bugs Bunny episodes. Come here.
Housekeeping.
Kizik, how much is come up by a little bit?
Oh, I was saying like 10% if you have it.
I'm at 100%. I thought there was a way I could boost my output, but they appear to have changed the settings on Windows 11, and I don't know where the button is anymore. So, hopefully this is good enough. Anyway, if it continues to be a problem, like, check it periodically, and if it's really a problem, then we'll stop and try to sort it out again. But if it's 10%, we should be okay. All right. It's not 10%, or it is?
No, it's fine. You're just the lowest one of all the people speaking.
Okay. Sorry, I'm on a headset. That kind of thing is kind of unavoidable. I thought I had a button I could do something about it, but once again, Windows and their infinite wisdom has moved shit around again. Okay, so I'll just have to try to talk louder. So, going back to this moment, where Mr. Reese is about to get just, vaped. Let's roll initiatives. Mr. Reese and the baddie. Ooh. What'd you get, Reese?
Rolled a 4, and probably do fast of mind, I would assume. It'd be 5.
Okay. Well, he easily beats that, so let me roll one other thing. Oh, you have no idea how lucky you just got. I mean, anyone watching on stream will see that I just rolled boxcars. But, so, you're locked with him, he's locked with you. You're trying to be fast of mind, but it kind of fits that you picked fast of mind because you just got done explaining how you're frozen in terror. So you're not really fast of mind. Commando raises his gun, and it's about to be the end of John Reese. And you see this, it's the size of a soda can, and it's like above the water, and it's moving like a shark fin would through water at pretty decent speeds, right past you, and then straight towards the commando. And then out of the snow bursts this loader droid from underneath the snow. It had been running on all fours and tackles itself into the commando in front, who lets out a vicious spray of his assault rifle as he tumbles back this way. I'm going to give him an attack beyond that. Okay. He's going to have at least one, so that's going to be a pass. So, the loader droid clamps its right arm down on the commando's assault rifle and just crushes it like it's in a vice. He wraps the other handle around this commando's neck and crushes it like it's a vice, and you hear the most disgusting popping noises coming from it. And then the sound of automatic weapon fire as this commando just obliterates the load lifter droid. Pieces of shrapnel and robotics are going everywhere. And this thing crumples to the ground, more or less destroyed. And you can hear Tina in the comms going, well, I helped.
Oh my gosh! So Reese is just sitting here and he sees this little thing sliding underneath the snow, and he's just like, and it's all, because he's frozen and scared. This is just all slow motion to him. It's just like he's like, what on earth is the thing? And all of a sudden, all this stuff happens, and he's just, and he drops down on all fours, puts his head into the snow, and starts scooting on all fours backwards, scooting on the snow, going back behind the building, just going, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, and that is he just sitting there and wants to hide.
Okay. That's going to be your turn then. I need to roll one more thing, but the only other person out here is Otto. Everybody can take their turn on their initiative if they want, but we're not going to stay in combat time if combat doesn't persist.
Do you need us to roll initiatives?
I'm giving you specifically the choice right now of what you want to do. If your initiative is just going to be I run and hide or I go into this building, then you don't have to roll initiative. If it's going to be I pull the trigger, then yes, I need initiative.
Can I sneak around the other side as all of this is happening?
You got to do what you can do in 6 seconds. So you are still in that restriction. But yeah, you can go there. Go ahead and give me a stealth roll.
That's a 4. So as I'm walking around, I'm responding to Tina's message. I'm saying, hey, come as quick as you can and start loading the ship. I'm so sorry about your loss.
Okay. She's going to respond. So just to be clear, you want us to drive the ATV up to the ship and start loading the people and the supplies into the ship.
Correct.
Okay. Gentlemen on the inside of the building, this guy's actually already outside, but like you are alone, but you can hear the sound of gunfire and those radio exchanges.
Hey guys, what's going on out there?
Reese was spotted. I went around the outside. I just tripped. Oh, fuck, I'm talking too loud. There's a droid that came and took out the commando who we're fighting. Cut the comms. Cut the comms. Don't let them speak out to their team.
Okay, since I'm over here in the computer anyway, I'm going to attempt to turn off and jam any communications.
Okay. It's almost like you guys talked about this. That is a electronics communications roll.
Roger.
Did you pass that stealth check there?
No, I got a 4. That's why I started talking a little bit louder than I should.
Okay.
9 for the comms check.
That's good. A 9 is a pass. A 6 is a -1 on characteristics, right?
No, 6 to 8 is a 0.
Oh, okay. Well, that being the case, the two closest commandos both see Dr. Otto. And they don't need comms, because they're 3 feet away from each other, having just come out of this building. I will need a initiative check from you, Dr. Weber.
Boxcars +2, 14.
Okay. Baddie 1 is on a 9. Baddie 2 is on a 8. We'll do the rest of them in a minute. At the end of this round, anyway. These two guys are corpses. It's important that we remember that. Alright. I believe that means that you get the initiative even though you just got busted. So you got the same situation going on that Reese had. You lock eyes with these guys. But unlike Reese, you are going to be the first to act.
I come to the corner. I'm kind of sliding. It's super cold. It's super wet. I come over the edge like I'm talking into my comms. They see me. I'm going to keep sprinting and try to make it into the door.
Okay. That's easily within a normal movement for you.
Excellent. Then I'm going to pull the trigger as I jump in the door.
Okay. Interesting choice. Go ahead and roll your attack.
-8 -3 +1 is a 6.
Okay.
But I've got smart round, so they get another roll.
You don't get to roll. Let's be clear about that. They are their own thing, just like when you shoot a missile.
Yep, that's they.
They get another round. Yep. And that's a 7. So we may be changing that too, because I found some contradictory set of rules, but I think they make more sense. where it may be improving your accuracy. Because while a missile would have the ability to turn all the way around, a guided bullet wouldn't necessarily be able to turn all the way back around. It's not a rocket, so it wouldn't have any propulsion to come back. But since I hadn't talked with you about that in advance, we'll deal with that later. If you rolled a 7, I might make it a hit. I might give you like a +1. We'll see. Okay, now they get to go. Let's see what equipment they've got. Oh, you're in luck. They don't have any grenades. Okay. They're going to move and stack up on this door. You can see their shadows. You can see that they're just beyond the door sill, but you can't see them. I'm going to go ahead and do initiatives for the other two. And we'll take initiatives from the rest of the party. So that's 7 for baddie 3 and 8 for baddie 4.
Zigzag at a 14.
Fuck yes. You guys got initiatives down pat.
9.
9.
We already had Reese's initiative.
Oh, gotcha from earlier. Okay, fair enough.
Okay. Good deal. Alright. These two baddies are still confused. They don't... So you did succeed on your comm check, right?
Yeah,
Zane?
got a 9.
Yeah, you got a 9. So they've got a screeching in their ears. And they don't see an immediate threat. They do see these guys going across. There's going to be some shouted chatter going back and forth. Reese and Otto would be in a position to hear them being like, they're jamming our comms. There's at least one, maybe two. No, there's probably two. Well, there's a destroyed droid. They're talking it out, you know. So they're not completely untactical right now. Assuming that Otto has just went, all the baddies have went. Oh no, that was their turn because you had done the thing. I'm just gonna go to the very top of the round. Call all of that a sneak attack. Oh, I need one more roll because I forgot we got an NPC on the roof. Michael's initiative is 8 plus 2 is 10. So let's go to the very top. Otto, you go ahead and take another turn. You see them stacked up on either side of that door. You've fired a couple snapshots off. What do you do?
I've been in here before. I know there's a whole bunch of engineering things around. I have 6 seconds to do something, so I'm going to find the most volatile-looking battery thing, throw that at the door, and take enough steps back to be prepared to shoot at it.
Okay.
Is that a luck roll to find something bad?
No, I'm just trying to figure out if it's an action or a minor action to put something in the door. I think it's an action because you got to go find it, grab it, throw it. I think that what you just described is a full turn. But I don't think you would have to roll for it because you guys have already searched this room. And as a scientist and an engineer, I feel like, especially as a roboticist, you would know what like a capacitor that might explode would look like. So I'm not going to make you roll to identify that. So we'll say, actually, you know what? Give me an athletics thing to throw it in the right spot. That would be the hardest part for Otto. It wouldn't be any of the thinking. It'd be throwing the capacitor in the right position.
6, 7.
Okay. That's not going to be a fail, but it's going to roll a little bit too inside for your comfort. And your back is against the pipes that lead out underneath the I'm giving you something for free here. That lead underneath the landing pad, and you suddenly remember what those pipes are full of. Or do you
Just
remember?
water.
No.
No, that's the reactor.
That's refined fuel. That's refined
Yeah.
liquid hydrogen fuel. Yeah. Very, very volatile. Alright, Zigzag.
I would like to sneak as close as I can while pulling out my whip up to this commando here. Hopefully, he is too distracted to hear me.
Okay, so there's a antechamber in the front of this building with 2 sets of sliding doors. You can open the first one without too much difficulty, but I'd like you to roll a perception check before you get to the point of opening the second one.
That's a recon. I rolled a 9. Let me get my... And 14.
Awesome. Well, with a 14, that's... Is a 14 a critical success? Is that 6 over?
That is 6 over.
That is 6 over. Yep. Okay. That's a critical success. So, here's what happens. You look through the window of the second door, and the commando that you want to strike does have his back directly to the door, but you can look and he's talking directly to another commando. And that commando's looking right at... Like, if you'd opened the door, you'd have been just in plain sight. So you stop.
Yes.
Now, to resolve your critical, one of the things you're going to notice is that all of these guys are wearing visors that completely cover their, like, line of vision. And it occurs to you, looking at this thing, that if you were to somehow be able to scramble that, they'd at least temporarily have a blindfold on.
So they're wearing some sort of, like, modified goggles.
Yes, they've got, like, a helmet that covers their eyes.
Obviously electronic.
Yep.
Are their necks exposed?
Yes, their necks are exposed. And you still technically have an action left.
I want to quietly lock this door.
Okay. That's actually the smartest thing you could do. I was really, really surprised that that's not what Otto tried to do in the way, because the bunker he's in is like an 1.5-inch steel door.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can fortify in there.
Yeah, if he'd gotten that thing locked, those guys would not have gotten it open in a hurry. So yes, but this door is unfortunately just a steel bulkhead, but it will stop them temporarily, but quietly locking the door is a thing. Can you give me a deception roll to see how, like, gently you do it? It's a sleight of hand.
Ooh, okay.
So it's your dexterity and your deception.
12.
All right, that's yeah, no, you were the fucking knight. All right, so after that is Mike. Mike is gonna come over the radio and be like, so Otto, how you doing in there? Because I can help you, but if I do, they're gonna know I'm up here.
I tried to rig the door to explode, and I'm going to shoot it if when they open the door. Help would be appreciated.
Acknowledged. And let's see how Mike does. Oof. All right, that's 5 plus 2 is only a 7. So you're gonna hear a gunshot. And there you're gonna hear a loud cracking noise as something hits concrete. It's going to well, you won't be able to see it, but you'll be able to hear the explanations of the two commanders outside the doors as they realize they're coming under fire from a different location. Which might give you an advantage. Zane, it is now your turn. You've successfully jammed the comms.
Well, now I'm going to on our comms with Otto. Hey, Otto, is that EMP thing that you brought on our ship still functional in there? Can we turn that on them?
That's the probably I have to look at it.
And then while I'm, because I'm still sitting at the computer, I'm going to start seeing if I can look for any way to control the EMP device, or if there's any automated weapon system, stuff like that. But that's going to take my turn.
Give me an intelligence roll real quick. This is really just to see if you remember something that I've already explained to you.
8.
Okay. You guys did look at the EMP device. It was completely melted. It was a one-shot deal. It is not a reusable device. There were enough parts in there that you could have built another one had you chosen to do so, but you would have to build one. There is no working EMP device, and you guys already established that in your first investigation.
Roger, thank you.
Really important detail.
No, but I could probably make one.
But you can probably make, but not in 6 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay. You did not actually perform an action there. You talked to someone
And remember the thing.
and remembered a thing. You don't have to perform an action, but I just want to point out that you didn't perform an action.
Well, I'm going to stay on the comms, and hey guys, it looks like we have one down guy, 2 guys by the door, and 2 guys standing outside of this comm center, where Zigzag and I are. I'm not seeing anything else on the cameras because I got the cameras before we ended last turn, or last session.
I did remember that. Don't
So
have my
I'm going
notes.
to-
Don't have my notes in front of me, but I did remember that.
I'm gonna kind of see if I can coordinate our defenses / attacks by keeping everybody informed on where everybody is, while searching through the computer to see if there are any automated defense systems or anything like that.
If there were automated defense systems, don't you think that would have come to light the first time around?
Probably.
Yeah. I'm not going to
Alright.
tell you how to live your life, but you may want to think
Aye,
about
aye.
that turn. Okay, so we're down to baddies now. So baddies 5 and 3 that are at the door of Otto's room. They are both going to take a -1 because they are under fire from their flank. They are going to still attempt to come through this door. Okay? I am going to give Otto a reaction. You are straight reflex versus theirs. Even though you've already had your turn. Oh. Well, that guy rolled a 4, and his score... Whoops, I keep hitting the wrong button. Nope. Okay, so, that's just a 4. Can you beat a 4 on reflex?
This is gun reflex or dexterity reflex?
It's dexterity. It's dexterity to be super picky.
I got a 5.
That beats it. Alright, now you need to roll a gun combat.
8 minus 3 plus 1 is a 6.
Now, I know not all your sheets are completely up to date, but you included your -3 for dexterity in there, right? Because it's dexterity for reflex.
Athletics, dexterity. I did not. I got a 2 then.
Okay. Yeah, that didn't beat it. Unless you have some dodge skill, but I don't think we have that in this game. I think that's the Pulp Cthulhu we're playing that has a dodge skill. Yeah. Which would be really handy in this game. Okay. You may now make a reflex, as these 2 gentlemen are going to come through this door and spray bullets. Well, that guy's not going to do very well. Alright, what's your reflex? Sorry, what's your reaction? You know, like, do I need to go over reactions even though we've done it so many times?
My reaction is dodge or dive for cover.
Those are the two main ones. There are a number of other things you could do, but in combat, those are the main two we've used, yes.
My dodge is a 1 for dexterity. I don't get a shot at the door. Is that a correct statement?
No, that's what we roll in the first set for
Got it.
reflexes.
Then I am dodging, trying to not die.
Okay, so you're implementing a -1 against them.
Correct.
Well, that is... Alright, let's see. So that the best of the two gets a 6 on his roll. He has gun combat slug 1, dexterity 7. So with your -1, he gets 7. So he does not hit. That is fortuitous. Oh, technically it's auto 2. But we'll just say that, he's under fire, so he forgot to select the lever this time. Alright. So the baddie's outside here. They realize something's going on over here. They run up, guns drawn. They're aiming at the roof. I need to roll to see if Commando 2 sees Reese as he hunkers and withdraws around the corner. And the other one's going to spray fire up top. He does not see Reese. Ooh, but he is probably going to hit Michael. Okay, so that's a 9. Plus a 1. That's a 10. And Michael is in cover behind a building, so he gets a pretty significant diminish. That's 13. Minus 3 is 10 damage. So technically it's a hit, but he doesn't take any damage. So they spray fire at Michael. They're riddling the building with bullets. Now, from the corner they're shooting, zigzag, you can see the corner of your room. Like, you can see bullets passing through one wall and then through the ceiling. This building is decidedly not bulletproof.
That's worrisome.
And that resolves all the bad guys. Reese.
Okay, so I just kind of I'm on all fours. I'm listening to what's going on. I'm just like, oh my gosh, they're going to get Otto. They're going to get him. I got to do something. So I want to look around the corner to see if there's anybody down this direction, to see if I'm able to quickly run across to Building 5.
Okay, you can see someone. Commando 2 is within plain sight when you poke your head around. His rifle is raised and he is riddling the side of the building with bullets. It is a high degree of certainty in his high state of awareness that he will see you if you run across that gap right now.
Yeah, that's not a good idea. I don't want him to see me. So I'm going to actually just kind of, I think the best thing for Reese that he's going to do right now is just kind of hunker down and hide in the corner there. I am going to pull my revolver just to defend myself if I need to for this moment in time.
Okay.
So I'd like to just hold position, actually.
Okay. Well, I guess that's makes sense from a certain point of view. So you guys would see, since you're hunkering down behind the building, you'd see that the ATV is like making a beeline across the snow, and it's the ATV. But you also realize that the bad guys might not necessarily know it because the snowplow is down and it's pushing snow like 3 feet into the air above the hull of the ATV as this thing is at its max move speed. So there's just this funnel of snow chomping out each side as it's plowing through the snow towards the landing field. And that brings us back to Otto. Otto, you successfully dodged incoming attacks, but they sprayed fire all up in here. Electronics have exploded. Moving to the back of the room basically saved your ass. Because there's now so much equipment in the room that's between you and them that, the reactor took several hits for you, which is probably not in the long term an ideal situation, but, for right now, you didn't get shot.
Yeah. there's like volatile fuel going everywhere. I know where I rolled that thing, and people are now in the room with me. I'm going to put all of my chips in the right thing. I'm going to aim at that with all of my might. It's real close, and I'm going to stay in my little teeny tiny corner and take a shot at my volatile bucket of goo by the front door.
Okay, so you said you're going to aim and it's point blank.
Correct.
Okay.
I rolled a 6. -3 plus 3 is still a 6.
Okay. Okay. That's not ideal. Zigzag. That guy in front of the door has moved off and started shooting at Mike on the roof. Mike had got one shot off, and then they're just suppressing him with like entire magazines. When I say they're suppressing with entire magazines, though, you are watching, and you can see when they're reloading.
And their attention is on the roof of Building 6.
Yeah, that's the
So
guy who's shooting at their buddy.
I kind of want to wait for a reload. Open the door. Oh, I locked it. Damn. I almost want to shoot him with a shotgun. Just like, surprise, motherfucker.
I'll let you unlock the door as a minor action as long as you're not trying to do it too stealthily.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter because it's going to when it opens.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, click, and then shotgun to the back. Well, torso.
Assuming you can hit him too.
Yeah, that's true. Confession time. Zigzag's probably never shot a shotgun before. Especially at a man. This is probably going to scar Zigzag forever.
Zigzag's a chef. Does he not have blade combat?
Nope.
That would have been, in hindsight, that would have been the way to go.
Yeah. He's never really learned how to protect himself that way. Alright. I rolled a 10. I have 0, none in gun combat, so that's -3. 7. And then I've got a 3 dex. Back to 10.
All right. That's pretty good. At least it's a wash. So, are you shooting through the wall?
No, I opened the door.
Oh, okay.
And,
It did open the door.
man.
Okay. Yeah, so it's just a regular gun combat. So that 10 hits it. So go do a +2 and give me your damage. I believe the shotgun is 4D.
It is 3D on
3D.
my light shotgun.
Oh, you have a light one. Okay, there you go.
I'm going to borrow one of Kizik's dice.
Yeah, they're real lucky
make it.
today.
Yeah, thanks, Kizik. I rolled a 13 on the dice.
Okay, all right. A 13's not.
And then it's +2, right?
Yes,
so-
+2 from your effect, so that makes it a 15. That is pretty respectable. As a matter of fact, that's a critical hit, so even if his armor absorbs it, you're going to do damage. So his flak jacket protects him from 5 of that, and then he takes 8. And his endurance is 8, and he has not yet taken any damage this round. So, you hit this guy in the back with a shotgun, and he just flops over. You hit him in the soft spot of the armor, and there's blood just gushing out of it, and he just flops over. There's like a scream, but when he hits the ground, the screaming stops, and he's not moving.
Oh, God. Oh, God, what have I done?
You're a murderer. So you're just standing in the door with a smoking shotgun now.
Yep.
Don't forget you can aim under normal circumstances. Okay, so Mike is going to go. Mike hears a shotgun blast. Temporarily, that draws the attention of this guy right here. Mike is going to use a minor action to come around the corner and try to take a shot. Oh my god, he's rolling so shit. But that actually is a pass. for him. Okay. He's going to fire Luna Shot. Not that you guys know what that means. That is 4d minus 2. 412 damage. He's not using any special ammunition today, or right now. Alright, so minus 5. So that does 7 damage, which is not enough to kill the guy, but badly hurt him. You hear a crack of a revolver, a rather deep crack of a revolver, and this guy staggers back. This has went in one side of his flak jacket and out the back, and it's left a hole in the front of the armor that is the size of, say, a Sharpie, and out of the back the size of a soda can. This guy is fucked up. But he is still standing. Zigzag, you can see him plain as day. This is the one that Reese would be able to see if he was poking his head around the corner. Yeah, he's staggered back into the walkway, and just blood everywhere. Alright, Zane.
Well, I'm going to let everybody know we got one guy injured, one guy down, and 2 other guys really pushing at Otto there. Otto, do you have a way out of that room?
There is.
Negative. I'm out of bullets. Fuck.
There's some sort of access that leads out of there. We learned that last time. I don't know if you noted that, but I did.
There is. He's actually backed up right against it.
Otto,
So
I
it
need
goes
you to.
underneath.
I need you to go out that exit there, because I'm gonna see if I can find a way to explode some reactor things in there. Not like full critical blow up the world kind of thing, but just.
It's worth noting that when I say there's an exit, there are liquid hydrogen pipes where the hole that they come in is big enough that a human can shimmy on top of the fuel lines for the reactor out of that room and follow the, pipes.
So tempting. Yeah, I don't want to blow up Otto. I'm gonna run up and back up Zigzag here. So that's about as far as I'm gonna get in 6 seconds.
Yeah, that's especially since you were presumably using the cameras for that last part. That's as far as you're gonna get. All right, baddies' turns. Let's resolve the guy out here first. Commando 2 is holding his hand over this hole in his chest in complete shock of what has just happened. Unbelievable what's just happened to him. But he is going to turn around with his auto rifle. And he is going to unload. You can't hit him. Okay, so it's going to have to be either Zigzag or Zane. I'm going to say Zigzag because he's standing in the door. Zigzag, he turns towards you. You're smoking shotgun in hand. You get a reaction you can take because he is going to shoot at you.
I am very dexterous. I'm going to try to
dodge. You're also
dive.
hard to hit. I think your size gives you a plus or a extra point of this. I'm going to rule that it does. I don't have notes in front of me because obviously I'm in Charlotte today. So I'm going to say you get your dex modifier plus your size modifier. So I think that's a 4. And he rolled a 9. So that means it's a miss. So he is going to spray weapon fire all over the entrance, just peppering. And remember, this is not a bulletproof building, so these rounds are going through the tenon drywall and insulation, and miraculously hitting nothing. Of course, the guy's got a hole in his chest that goes in one side and out the other, so, there is that.
Yeah. He's losing blood.
All right. Now these baddies who are in the room, 3 and 5, with Otto. One of them's going to turn to the other one and be like, "Yeah, let's grab the geek. We can get him to talk later." And they're going to go up there and try to grapple and cuff up Otto. So they're going to try to physically grapple with you. Otto, this is an opposed check. I need a strength athletics check, please.
I rolled a 10, but I have a -4.
I was so excited for a second. That doesn't quite do it. So they grab you and they flip you around and they manhandle you and they put you in cuffs and take your pistol away. You are now on your knees in handcuffs with a commando with an assault rifle pressed to the back of your head. And the other one's going to say, "You better tell your friends to stop right this second or you're a dead man."
But my comms, they got me, guys. Stop fighting.
And Reese, it's your turn.
All right, I am still ducked off around the side. I am hearing all the stuff of the guys peppering bullets off the front of Building 6. I'm listening to Otto. Otto just got captured. Oh, great. He's just gonna tell everybody everything, and he's gonna give it all up. He's not gonna do very well with this. Reese just wants to run off the front of the building here. He knows there's one guy over here. He wants to run to the front of the building here and to be able to get a better view of this guy to see if he can shoot him.
Okay, just remember that you're in knee-deep snow, so you're not going to go very far. You can probably make it like 4 feet in 6 seconds on a minor action. If you want to take your whole turn, I'll let you get like 3/4 of the way down the alleyway, but you won't be able to shoot or anything.
Yeah, so let's go the full distance. I'm just gonna stay really close to the side of the building to kind of stay as much out of sight as possible. Since obviously he's got a distraction in the front of the building. But
okay.
Yeah, let's do that.
So you can see this guy pretty plainly. He's just standing here. He's got a hole in his chest. His attention is fully on the main door of the building, so he does not see you as you approach.
I'm also kind of huddled up in the snow too, like kind of crouched down, so that way the snow is kind of helping to cover me a little.
Yep, he's not gonna see you. Truthfully, he's as close to bleeding out as you can get without bleeding out. That's not completely true. Technically, he gets like 6 more points because he didn't pass out the first round. Anyway, but that resolves your turn. Otto, you do technically get a turn. I'm not sure what you're going to do here, but you do get a turn.
I give up. Who are you guys? Why are you here?
Yeah, we're not in a talking mood right now. If your friends start shooting again, and one of them just racks the slide for effect.
I said stand down. They're I open up comms again. I go, they've got a gun to the back of my head.
Okay, and Zigzag, it's your turn.
I really want to aim and shoot this commando. But I was told to stand down. I'm not a soldier. Shit. Zane, what do? I shoot him?
No, we don't want to shoot anybody. Like, I have an idea. Cover him, and I will go in to help out Otto.
Alright, I'm going to tell this commando to drop it in my most menacing voice. Drop it! Intimidate? Can I try that?
You may absolutely roll an Intimidate. I love every part of this. They're not that intelligent.
Well, it helps. Wow, my social is awful.
Yeah, so is theirs.
Yeah.
What's a 3? A -2?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what they've got.
Okay. Well, this is worth a shot. Let's try this. I rolled a 10. I have a 0 social, and then I don't actually see intimidate. I think it's going to be...
I mean, I think it's going to be like persuade.
Yeah.
But I would allow you to use, like,
that's
if you have deception, if you want to use that, you could use that. That'd be fine. Diplomat.
Also a +1.
Yeah. Just I'm flexible.
Diplomat is also a +1. I'm just going to take a +1.
That's right. It's just all
Yep,
of the +1.
11.
Okay.
Drop it.
11 is almost certainly going to pass. What does he use to resist then? So if you used persuade, I'm going to make this, it's going to sound weird, I'm going to make this an endurance social check for him.
He's just tired.
Wouldn't you be? Oh, yes. This is not good. Okay. Oh, wait,
I don't have the will to live.
But he's at a -3, so that's a 6. And he probably doesn't have... No, he does not have any skills that help. So he's at... Oh, shit, I moved it. 9 minus 3. He's at 6. Were you better than 6?
Yes.
Excellent. He drops his weapon in the snow, puts his hand up, and sinks to his knees. He puts a hand up. He's literally trying to hold his chest together with the other hand.
Right. All right, that's my turn.
That's a pretty good turn. Mike was about to blow his brains off, but seeing that, Mike is going to drop off the roof and sneak around to this corner. I am going to roll his stealth. Oh, that's a cocked dice. What does it say it is? Oh, shit. That's a critical success. Yeah. Mike comes around the corner. And with a critical success on his sneak check, he is the fucking knight. And it's also worth noting that, yes, one of them is behind you that way, but they wouldn't have backed themselves all the way in a corner. There wouldn't have been enough room. So one of them is going to be on either side of you. So it's just, this is a very tight space. There's literally enough room for one person to stand deep. They can't stand side by side in here. It's not meant as a occupied space by multiple people. But you are also backed up against a bunch of fuel tanks and a bunch of fuel lines. And I don't know if Michael would have told you his predilection towards using explosive ammunition.
I don't think you got around to that part, no.
You guys didn't have a lot of conversation while you're trying not to get eaten by snow worms. So, but yeah, that's his whole turn. So Mike's there. Zane, what are you going to do? You just watch Zigzag maul and then scream down a commando with a fully automatic assault rifle and polycarbonate armor.
Yeah, I'm gonna come over this way.
Okay, it's
And
gonna.
I'm sorry, Otto. No, go ahead.
Oh, if you're going out on the asphalt, you can do that in a minor action, as long as you're not trying to be quiet.
No, I am not trying to be quiet.
Okay.
And I'm going to be mean here. I'm gonna chuck my vial of crystal ice into the room here.
Oh my. Oh my. So a glass, I'm assuming it's just like a glass test tube that you filled with the... Yeah. Okay. It's athletic strength to throw. I don't think you have to be that accurate. I'm going to count it as like blast 1. Maybe blast 2.
This is such a bad idea.
Well, their armor...
Autos have lights.
Their armor is not sealed. 8, that's a pass.
I'm sorry, Otto.
Yeah, I mean, they're actually only wearing flak jackets. They're not wearing full polycarbonate like I thought they were. That is not good for them.
Mike, I hope this makes your job easy.
Oh, and there's enough to get 2 of the 3 people in there. Okay, Otto. Do you have a D100 you can roll for me? Just pick high or low and then roll D100. If you don't have it, we'll sort one out.
Right here?
Yep, there you go.
High, please.
Okay.
Fuck.
Okay. The vial hits the commando himself that's right in front of Otto. So he gets the bulk of the lice, but the spare ones spray all over Otto's face. And the guy in the back behind you with the gun to your head, he doesn't get any of them. And at first he's like, what the fuck is... Oh my god! Oh my god! And then, because you know what's happening. And you start feeling as they're burrowing into your face, and your hands are cuffed behind your back.
Oh, not my face.
Yep.
Sorry. But I don't really have a lot of control, so I writhe on the floor.
Okay. You don't have any control, but writhing on the floor, that's actually a very good thing to call out.
Yes.
Okay, so it's now Baddie's turn. Baddie 1, I'm going to roll his endurance, but I'm not... a 5 doesn't cut it. He's on his knees. He's actually pulling his vest off, because he thinks they're in the vest. Trying to, get him off of him. The baddie in the back, once again, they're not that smart, so I'm going to give him a military tactics roll, which he is at a -3. 4 on your EDU is a -1, right?
Yes.
He's at a -4, and he rolled a 6, so he is going to freeze. He is not going to know what to do in this moment. He doesn't really understand what's going on. Otto is obviously injured and is writhing and has dropped to the floor at his feet. His buddy is ripping his clothes off like he's got ants in his pants. And Reese, it's your turn.
Reese continues to walk up on the side over here towards Zane, and he sees Zane chuck something in there. He's like, oh my gosh, did you just chuck in the lice stuff, Zane? Is that what you just did?
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh! Did you get him? What happened? I hear Otto screaming in there. Did you? Oh my gosh! What happened?
I don't know. I threw a thing in there.
Yes.
He's still got a gun. He's trying to hit me.
Oh my gosh! You guys, this is just nuts. This is crazy. So I'm gonna come around the corner and I'm gonna take a peek inside here and see if I can get off a shot without getting into Otto's way.
Without getting into Otto's way? You mean without getting into Mike's way?
Sorry. Yes, without getting into Mike's way, but not hitting Otto. That kind of thing.
Okay. Which one are you trying to shoot at?
I think the easiest one to shoot at is the one that's closest to me, is the one that's probably stripping his clothes off, writhing in pain and trying to get rid of the lice.
Okay. I mentioned earlier how tightly they're packed in here. So since you picked the one that's closer, I will not give you a penalty to your dice roll, because the one in the back would have been the harder one to hit. However, if you miss this shot, you're still going to roll damage, and half of it Otto is going to take. So go ahead and roll your gun combat.
Okay, gun combat's going to be dexterity, correct? So we have a 9.
Dexterity and gun combat, slug, right? Yep. Okay,
correct.
So you got a 9, so you got your +1, roll your damage.
Get an extra dice here.
So you are trained in this. You are actually very combat capable.
Hasn't he been a hobo most of his life?
I mean, yeah, but he was playing it
Streets,
he's playing it like he's -3 like the rest of you guys, but he is trained in this. He's probably the most combat capable character in the party.
He was military before he was a hobo.
Oh, right.
If I remember
So
his
we rolled
character correctly.
So we have a 4D minus 3.
Yep, that's what the card says, right? Yep. So you roll 4D
Correct.
and then
So
you
we
take
have
away
a
3.
12.
12's pretty good. This guy hasn't taken damage yet, but I know from experience that 12 is one short of what you need to knock him out in one hit. So you punch a hole through this guy's front armor and out the back, just like Mike did earlier, and it zips to the top of the round. Otto, it's your turn. You have lice burrowing into your face. You're writhing around in pain on the ground. There's a guy with lice, burrowing through his armor in front of you, and a guy who just, as you hit the ground, Reese, who was holding a full-blown conversation for some reason with Zane as he did it, came around the corner and just fired a round directly into this commando behind you. You were still in the process of dropping when that bullet came over your head. Remember, when you're in combat, all these things happen at the same time. So, that conversation, Thodubs, that you had with Ronan's character shouldn't have really happened, because it's all happening at the same time. It's not like it happened and then you have your turn.
No, definitely hindsight 2020. Gotcha.
Anyway, what do you do, Otto? This is a lot of shit going on for you, but you're also in a very interesting situation.
Yeah, I'm really slow. I'm really low to the ground. I need to roll endurance first to decide if I have the ability to try to crawl away.
Okay, you can definitely
excruciating pain.
You can definitely do that.
I rolled a 9. I've got a +1 in endurance.
Okay, that's a
10.
It's a good pass. So you can wiggle your way out of you can try to crawl away.
Because these are very small, tight places. I'm going to, because the guy in front of me is there. I handcuffed behind my back. I'm inchworming my way as far away from the guy with the gun as possible.
Sound tactic. Zigzag. That guy that you got to surrender is still standing in front of you.
Oh, he didn't lay down on the ground?
He's on his knees.
Okay, but he put his gun down.
He did put his gun down. He's got one hand in the air, the other hand's over his wound, and I'm only pointing it out because every one of your other party members just ran by him.
Yeah, that's been my plan the whole time, is I'm going to, with a 1,000-yard stare, Zigzag rushes over and kicks the gun out of the way, with far away from this guy's reach. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to train the shotgun on him. I'm going to be like, you're probably going to die anyway, you know that.
Okay.
I won't pull the trigger.
I have to roll now. Nope. He doesn't have the balls to do anything. But, you phrasing it like that did trigger a, well, if I'm going to die anyway, I'm going to take you with me kind of reaction. It didn't happen, but yeah.
Is he still armed?
I mean, if you told me that, it wouldn't matter if I was armed. I'd bum rush you hand to hand if you had a shotgun and you said you're probably going to die. I would do you're going to die anyway.
Right. I get you.
And these guys are of the high testosterone, low brain cell variety, so I feel like that makes them more prone to that reaction. But he rolled a 3, so he didn't do it. He's in too much pain to do it. Okay. Who's after Zigzag? After Zigzag is Mike. Mike is going to... those of you who are familiar with Mike will know that he has some very fancy weapons. He has this weapon out, but he pulls out a special round, slots it in to one of the empty chambers, comes around the corner, and then very calmly, the guy that's writhing from the lice just levels it at his now unarmored head and pulls the trigger. This is gonna suck for him. Okay, so that's a 11, which is +3. And that's 13 plus 3 is 16. Plus 1, 2, 3, 4 is 20 damage to this guy's cranium. Comes around the corner, unloads into that guy's head, and the head literally explodes at the base of the neck. And there's just a fountain of blood and gore that covers the backside of the workshop, and just a fountain of of blood comes out as his neck is now completely the ending of his body, inches away from Otto. And just as calm as if he just ordered a coffee, Mike pulls it back, like fully behind cover from the other guy. And Zane, it's now your turn.
All right. Not enough room for me to get in there, because I've got the other two guys. I'm gonna go assist Zigzag over here. Come back over here and let Commando number 2 here know if he's willing. Hey, if you're willing to tell us what you're doing here, I'm a doctor and I can patch you up, sir.
This one wants to kill me. Although, in reality, 6-second rounds, that's all you're going to get out. Like, you're not really in conversation mode yet. There is still a guy with a gun in that room. Okay. And it is his turn. So, first off, he didn't go down. The person who he can see is Otto, who's laying on the floor, inchworming his way out. He's going to try to shoot Otto in the ass. He's probably not going to be able to do it. He's going to try. No, I don't think that's adequate. It is not. So he lets off a ripple of full... Wait, he has a full auto weapon and I haven't used it as full auto. So let's give him one more roll. Oh, he is going to hit. 2, and let's see. An auto rifle does 3d damage. That's 9 damage to Otto's ass.
Damn, now it looks like your face.
Is that enough to knock Otto out in one round? Kizik? Are you mute? You've obviously been playing with your mic.
No, I was listening to the stream.
Oh, are we having audio issues?
No, I was just checking in.
Okay.
And it sounds good.
Good.
And I hit the button to start talking and it wouldn't immediately talk.
Panic.
So I'm using borrowed coats. Do I get any pluses in any way, shape, or form for just cloth armor?
So cloth armor is a specific thing. What cloth armor means is Kevlar weave. Your borrowed coats are... They're not armor, they're insulation, right?
Correct.
Yeah, they're not going to stop bullets.
Okay, then that takes me from 9 to 0.
Okay, you're not dead. You're just unconscious. Which, considering everything that happened to you, that's probably a mercy right now. So you get shot in the ass, and you don't pass out from injury, you pass out from the pain. Your pelvic bone has been broken from the bullet impacts. That's excruciatingly painful. Your face is being gnawed on by snow lice, or crystal lice. Otto just passes out in the cuffs right there in the snow at the base of the steps. And Reese.
I was just absolutely amazed at Mike and the way he took that guy's head off. That was just ridiculously gross. I'm glad I didn't get any of those snow lice all over me when his head decided to explode. But I'm going to take a knee and take an aim at this guy in the back and take a shot.
That's a good idea. He is partially obscured because he's the one that's all the way in the back. But go ahead and take your shot.
I got an 8.
Okay, roll your damage.
A 20 minus a 3 is a 17.
Wow, a 20. That's awesome. Okay, 17. So he gets -3 for the metal pipes, and then he gets -5 for his armor, so that's 8. So you're at 9 damage. Okay, he had 1 endurance left, and then he has 8 strength. That's 9 on the nose, right? I think that math works out. I think you did exactly enough points to kill him.
Your math's right.
All right. You did exactly enough points to kill him. So you basically shoot through some of the pipes, which nobody saw it, but if any of the, engineers had seen you do that, they would have, as you shoot through the pipes containing the liquid hydrogen that is highly explosive and would take this whole facility up like a nuclear bomb. But your bullets, after they pass through that pipe, go through the cranium of the commando behind it and spray him all over the back of the workshop. In combat,
the pain
is now
that took
resolved.
out Otto.
It wasn't the pain?
It was watching a bullet go through a liquid hydrogen tank. He passed out from fear.
Yes! That's what it actually was.
He fainted.
Yeah, it was, I don't want to be awake for when this happens. Okay, so liquid hydrogen is now also filling the workshop because of the holes in this thing. You guys are out of combat time, but that is a significant thing that is going on.
Oops, guys, we need to get out of here.
That's...
What's going on?
Well, I kind of shot the bad guy, but I also shot some piping that has some liquid hydrogen in it, and Otto just did his little squeal faint and put his back of his hand to his forehead and passed out over here to snow. So I think we need to move.
I want to go and help Dr. Otto.
Okay. Are you the ship engineer by any chance? Do you have at least power plant 0? Because because if I remember, Zigzag is the one that said, I remember that there's pipes that come out of there.
Yes, I am the engineer.
Okay.
M drive guy.
Yeah,
Power plant guy.
But you have at least power plant 0. Okay.
Power plant 1.
There is no getting out of here. The pipes run to tanks that are underneath, it's the entire facility. The tanks are as big as the landing pad. The whole thing will go off like a nuke. There is no way to get away from this if you accidentally detonate it right now. The only thing to do is not to run out of here, but to try to resolve the issue.
Yeah, can I might find some patches, right? And I can patch this stuff up?
That are an emergency shutoff valve, or, it's not like the reactor has to continue running.
All right. Mr. Hicks, can you help Mr. Weber or Dr. Weber while I try to find the shutoff valve?
Yes, I will gladly go and do the medical thing that I do. We also still have that other commando, right? That's still alive?
Mike will walk up and be like, I am qualified to watch this individual. And he'll just stand there with his pistol menacingly.
Roger.
Actually, no. He has a set of handcuffs. He will handcuff him.
I apologize. I must step away to take care of a family thing real quick. But I would like to do the medical thing for Otto. Yes, and I will be right back.
Okay. Zane's gonna stitch your ass together, Otto.
Reese is just going to back off. He's like, watch out, man. He's got lice.
Okay.
Do you want me to roll a power plant to try to shut this shit down?
I do. I want to know what your tactic is, and I want to know, patching is completely acceptable, so is finding a way to shut it off, and any other thing you can think of. This is no different than any other kind of generator that has fuel running to it, that the fuel line's leaking, except for the consequences of it going wrong.
Well, I'm going to first shut it down.
Okay.
And then I'll start to patch. So I'm going to look for a big red button first. If I don't see a big red button, maybe a large lever.
Yep. Emergency shutdown / shunt trip.
Ah, yes.
Go ahead and give me your roll for power plant.
I rolled a 10 and I've got +3 in it with a 1 in power plant and 2 in intellect. So
oh yeah, you
13.
you can do this any way you want with that check. There's a big red button. There's all sorts of patches. There's everything under the sun you could do is in here. There's even equipment to clean up the mess, like the liquid that's already on the floor. You can put this powder in it that'll neutralize it.
Fantastic. I'm going to take care of all of this as I should. It's my job.
Fantastic. So Mike's out here holding a gun on this commando, Reese, as you've stepped away from the situation you're not necessarily qualified to handle. Would you like to help with this prisoner that's out here?
Yes, I will. I will help Mike. It looks like Mike is pretty confident in what he's doing, but I am. I'm going to kind of.
Mike's not doing anything but watching him.
That's enough with Mike. I've seen what he does with his special looking his gun that he has. He's pretty calm, cool, and collective, and I'm kind of scared of him. So I'm just going to kind of I'll kind of back him up if just in case he gets sleepy or something.
You're not picking up what I'm putting down. You need to go and do an RP thing with the prisoner so that we can make up the time while Rex is away from keyboard.
Oh, okay. I did miss that. Okay, gotcha. All right, so I'll go over to the prisoner and I'm just gonna start talking. I was like, hey, look, so what's going on around here? Who are you guys?
There's a bullet hole in my chest. Could you at least get some of that like combat spray and put it in there? I get that your doctor's working on your own guy, but I'm bleeding a lot.
Well, let me see. Let me look around here and see if I get some of that combat spray. I think I can probably spray something. I have no clue what that means, but let me get some combat spray here. Hold on.
So he's got some, and what you're gonna have to do is roll a medic check. But it's meant to be user friendly. It's not meant to be used by a doctor. So you literally stick the nose in like a caulk gun and pull the trigger, and it fills the wound with an expanding medical foam. It is not pleasant.
Yeah,
yeah, it's gonna hurt like
green
hell.
Slime for a tire.
It's good. Yeah, that's exactly the concept. But you do still have to make a medic check. You need a 4 to pass.
Okay, so medic check. What am I doing on my characteristics for this particular check?
It is an education plus medic.
Oh, hallelujah for this guy. I rolled 11. I have a medic of 0. Education is a -1, so I have a 10.
Fuck, you could have stitched him up if you wanted. You're like,
yeah.
you look at it and you're like, well, I could do it the right way, but he asked for the foam, so you do it that way.
He must wanted the foam. I mean, there must be something he likes about it.
Take the effect of your medic check because you should have some excess points there, and add that into your whatever role you want to do for your interrogation. It's probably going to be persuade or diplomat. To try to let's try to ask him some questions while he's getting this patchwork done.
All right, man. So yeah, we're gonna roll that in. So yeah. So while I'm filling you up here, So again, who are you? What are you guys doing here?
We're just mercenaries doing a job, man. Like, I am not like the leader of the organization. We're here to do a job.
What job is that?
I don't know the details beyond come here, try to retrieve the data disk. We have some data disk we need to get that was left here from the first visit, and return it to the client. Oh my God, it hurts.
Well, so yeah, that stuff smells pretty bad too. I'm just gonna let you know that. But yeah, hey, so who's the client?
I don't know, man. I'm a merc. What do I look?
Know. So where are you gonna meet this guy? So you're coming here to get the disc. You're gonna go and get the disc. You're gonna take it back to the client. Where's the client? Where are you gonna go give it to him at?
You really think I'm in charge of this chicken shit outfit? Oh my God, the pain.
Well, I just basically from what I'm hearing from you, I can guarantee you're not. But I need you to get some information here because what happens if you were the only one left? Which, to be honest with you, you are.
Yeah.
So how would you get this information to your client?
Let me ask you a question, jackass. What do you think's going to happen when my ship comes back?
Oh, so they're on the way back. So when are they due back?
You can't be that stupid. Yes, they're on the way back. You jammed our comms. They're probably burning straight for us right now.
Oh, that's definitely obvious and definitely good information. Hey guys, I just wanted to let you guys know we are going to get visited here in probably not the far too distant future. This ship is coming back to pick up these guys since they lost comm communication with them.
Yeah, I think it was always the plan to try to subdue these guys and get on board our ship.
Yeah, we need to do that most haste.
I need to do some rolls based on how long. Let's say that, 5 minutes have passed here? You think that's a safe estimate of time? Yes? No?
Yeah.
8
Sure.
rounds of combat. That's a good estimate, yes.
Yeah, let's do it like this. Okay, so you guys have found out that the enemy ship is probably headed back your way. That's a pass. That's a pass. That's a fail. Need 2 more. That's a critical fail, and that's a pass. Okay. All right. So what are you guys going to do about this? Those of you who are amongst here to talk. I don't know if Rex is back yet.
I'm back.
Excellent. We were just trying to buy time for you to come back and do your medical checks on Otto, so you're going to want to do those too. In the meantime, Thodubs has done creative first aid / interrogation of the commando.
Sweet. I gotta whiz all my gear a 17 on my medical check.
Holy shit. So you can heal him for the effect of your check, right? For first aid?
Double check that real quick, but I believe so.
I think that's what it is, which that may bring him well above the line.
That's 9. I'm not hurt at all.
That's assuming I'm right about that, but I think I am.
I think you are.
I don't have the book next to me, so I have a hard time looking it up right now.
I'm looking it up.
Oh, he's familiar with my taint too.
I pulled these things off of you before.
Oh man.
Oh man.
If you have any positive effect after healing Otto to full health, even just 1 point, you can recover the lice again and put them back in another sample jar.
Yay.
Just recycle them things.
I mean, they'll need to be fed periodically.
Oh, that'll be gruesome.
Not my taint, please.
Yep. First aid restores a number of characteristic points equal to the effect of a medic check.
Okay.
Or
Is there
a minimum of 1 point.
Is there a point left over, Otto?
No, I take all 9.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, you fully bring him back. I mean, you can heal him for 1 less if you want and still get the lice back.
No. You're good.
I already ticked it down. I'm at 8 out of 9 on endurance. That's
All right.
okay.
And we're getting more lice.
I mean, I still feel like it's bleeding back there. Or nope, you're taking a lice from my face. Okay. And you're just walking up. Okay. Oh shit, we gotta go, don't we?
Oh, I need to roll for this guy's endurance. Hold on a second. Okay, so the good news is that Reese managed to get good information out of the prisoner. The bad news is he inflicted so much pain, quote unquote, healing him, that the guy's passed out.
Aw, guys, he's sleeping.
I'm not much of a killer, so I don't really want to kill him. What do you guys think we should do?
Not much of a killer.
Man,
To use
how
a
about-
shotgun?
Yeah, good gosh.
To somebody's
Shotgun Sally
back?
over here.
A protector. You guys we're in trouble. We are still in trouble. We gotta go.
Yeah, grab him. We'll carry him back to the.
No, he's
Shit.
dead. Wait.
All right,
I say we just pass the guy up. Hey, Dr. Zane, come over, take a look at this guy, and we know the ship's coming back. They'll come and his crew will come and get him. They'll come and take him away or something.
He also knows what all of us look like.
Oh, hey, Mike, you know what that means.
But they all know what our ship looks like too. More importantly, we need to get back on our ship and fix our ship so we can go.
Tina said she was going to do that, but okay.
Well, I mean, I'm sure she can use some help.
Especially since we got to be doing this a lot faster than we probably planned.
So I'm leaving this guy here, and we're running back to the ship as fast as we can.
I'm gonna do some. Well, I mean, it's gonna take some time to get the. How much time do we have left until the ship is fixed? I can talk. Get on the comms and talk to Tina and see how much time we have. Because they're looking for a data disk, and we don't have data disk yet, and they don't have data disk yet otherwise they wouldn't be looking for it.
Tina, is the bird flyable?
What? Well, hell no. We're going to need at least 3 hours.
3 hours. Okay.
Gosh.
I mean, you know how hard this is to do. We're barely going to have enough parts. If we rush this and mess it up, we're not leaving at all.
Yes. Good luck.
I could use a hand.
Zigzag. Go help him out. We're going to look for a data disk.
I'm going to take a quick bio. I'll be right back.
Bazing.
3 hours. Oh, gosh.
We have to hold this extraction against waves of enemies.
I just keep thinking of Tina the llama.
I lied. I'm not going to take a quick bio. I'll do that in a minute. Okay. So what's everybody's plan here?
I'll go first. I'm a doctor. I can't leave a guy half dead and,
in below freezing temperatures.
Yeah, I'm gonna take care of Commando 2 here.
Okay. So it looks like somebody stuck a caulk gun into his flesh wound and then pulled the trigger. It's expanding medical foam. It's like for battlefield emergencies, but it's also held to cut out. It also is probably one of the reasons he passed out from pain, because it really hurts. Although, if you hadn't been here, that almost certainly would have saved his life. But that's obviously what, like, you're coming up to it and you can see that that's obviously what Reese did.
That's what he wanted me to do. I mean, so I just stuck it in there and let it do its thing. That's what he asked for it.
Mike, can you come with me? We'll move him into the residence barracks thing here, put him on the table, and...
Yep, I can lift things. He holsters his gun.
Do some work on him.
He holsters his gun and he grabs the guy by his flak jacket and picks him up like he's a sack of potatoes and, like, flings him over his shoulder and starts walking him into the residential building.
Otto, I recommend we have people either try to figure out the data disk thing or fix the ship, or, I mean, you're a robotics guy, we could grab the sacrificed load lifter droid and get that back on the ship so we can fix it if we need to or can or desired to.
Is that more than just scrap parts?
It's more than that to Tina.
I would know that too, and Otto would be carrying whatever he could. Zigzag, go back as quick as you can and start helping with the M drive. Reese, where haven't we searched? We searched all the buildings, right?
I think we searched all the buildings. No, we searched building 7 pretty good. You guys were in building 6, so you guys took a lot of the electronic stuff was in there, wasn't it?
But we didn't know what we were looking for.
Now we're looking for a hidden data disk.
Also, when you say you searched it real thoroughly, you didn't search that thoroughly. Building 6, you did a little bit better job than the rest of them, but that's all I'll give you.
Yeah, we opened up doors and stuff like that in 7. We, and kind of saw some mess and cleaning out the kitchen and stuff.
Well, you search the bay. I'm gonna carry as much parts as I can back for Tina, and then I'm gonna search 5.
Now, I got a question for you guys. I'm not the engineering scientist guy, but we got a ship that's probably going to be coming down to get with it to land here. Is there anything we can do with that EMP? Could be something that might help protect us?
An EMP would destroy our ship too.
Well,
If
it's
we're
anything
still
loaded
here.
with power, though, right?
Yep.
I gotta take a quick bow. I'll be right back.
I guess I was kind of wondering if we could disconnect power on the ship, if that would protect our ship, but yet disable theirs. But that's just a needle thing.
Potentially, yes.
Yeah, our ship would need to be outside of the radius of the EMP, and then would have to come in and get us for whatever the mercenaries are on the other ship before they kill us.
Well, we would have to probably sever the power connection on our ship to protect it from the EMP, right? Once the EMP goes off, after it goes off, disables the other ship, we can reconnect our power and get the heck out of here.
We could also, we have, I think fixing the ship is probably the priority, but we can also, there are some sorts of sensors here and whatnot, so we can see we can look for the other ship, like early warning kind of thing.
That'd be good. At least
But
give us
again-
a heads up of what's happening. And how much time we have. Does anybody know what this data disk even looks like?
No clue.
It's a data disk. I assume it's a little tiny wafer that you put into a computer.
See, that's why we have you around here, Otto. So maybe we'll start looking for that thing, I guess.
There were some missing from the server room in the back. It was a communications data disk, if I remember correctly.
I has returned.
I believe you did remember correctly.
All right, what did we remember correctly?
Communications data disks were missing from the server room in the communications building.
They sure were. Where's everyone searching? Because I was away from keyboard. And if you guys search the right spot, I want to make sure that you know.
Oh, we didn't search. We just talked about what we might have done.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So with the data disk being gone, and we remember that they were gone, is that possibly the data disk that we were looking for? So have we missed it?
I know, but we know what we're looking for. Looking for a data disk. Fits inside a server.
All right, let's go see if we can start ransacking that place and see if we can find this data disk.
So realistically, it's called a data wafer, and it's more like the universal USB drive. Like that's kind of what it's closest to and akin to. It's not like a memory core or an archival disk, and that is.
We would know what that looks like, though, right?
Yeah, you know what it looks like, but more specifically, it's my bad for not using the proper terminology, because the proper terminology in the Traveler universe, if you're familiar with the difference between data disks and data wafers, you would know that the communication logs are not going to be stored on a data wafer. Data wafer is also very small.
Well, I think it's time for us to start searching. Are we thinking Building 6 is a place we need to start?
If that's where you want to search, go for it. The doctor's doctoring. Zigzag is building in-drive regulators. I'm going to start in 5. I see if I can find any other spare parts for... No, I'm finding the data wafer first. Data disk, a little bit bigger.
All right, I'm heading back to Building 6 here to do my own search for the data wafer.
So we talked. Zigzag has made it to the ship and is now helping with the installation. Okay, so
Yes.
so it's actually a really advantageous thing because you got to understand that the part that's been blown out of the M drive is this part that was never intended to ever be replaced unless you replace the entire drive. And because of that, the access conduits are tiny. And you and Tina are easily the smallest 2 people on the crew and probably the only people who could fit in these spaces. But it is literally desoldering the governor chips and then resoldering chips in while in close quarters with these things. So it's a difficult mechanics/engineering thing to do. Now, if you can do a mechanics check, that part is the actual soldering and resoldering. That's the mechanics part. The other part of it is someone has to be able to run M-drive tests to basically initialize, diagnose, test the chips, start them on their calibration, and like move on to the next set that have been soldered in. So it's a 2-part process. And you can do either of those 2 parts. Tina will do the other part. Tina is a much better mechanic than she is M-drive. She's only got a 0 in M-drive.
Okay. I have a +1 in M drive, so logically that makes sense. If you will do the soldering, Tina, I will do all of the checks.
She's like, I will be right on it. And she's crawling through doing the soldering.
My roll is a 4. I have a +1 in M drive and a 2 in intellect for a total of 7.
Okay.
Can I burn a player point?
I was going to say, so here's the consequences of not burning it before you decide to burn it, but yes, you can. For every negative effect you have, you lose an hour of time.
Yes, I would like to burn one of my 2 player points.
Oh. That reminds me, I got to do a thing. Yes, go ahead and do that. Don't mind what I'm doing. I was reminded that I had to do a thing. Okay, so you're on tack, you're doing that, 3 hours. So what we're going to do is we're going to break this into hour increments to make our lives more sane. So the first hour goes by and you're doing that. These guys are divided into search parties. What are you guys doing over your first hour? We'll start with Ronan, and we'll just go down the list.
Surgery.
Okay. Within an hour, you can do everything that can reasonably be done for this guy. It's a gunshot wound, and while it is really graphic and really traumatic for him, medically, it's actually not that complicated to treat. So you can do your medic roll and get him all doctored up, and before the hour's even done, you can actually have him in a state where he's as good as he's going to get for now.
$15.
Holy shit.
I'm really good at the doctor.
You are really good at the doctoring. Yeah, he's good as gold. Now, let me ask you, you could probably bring him back to consciousness with that roll if you wanted, or you could leave him sedated in the accommodation block.
20.
Mike, do you want to guard this guy, or do you want me to leave him?
I mean,
No.
I think it's better to sedate him so that I can help with the search.
Alright, then we will leave him sedated.
Okay, so you guys tuck him into one of the bunk rooms where there's still heat and shit, and, oh wait, the reactor's off. The reactor's off. So you tuck him in the bunk room, he's not exposed to the elements, but the heat is off. Because the power to this facility is off. That also means that you guys are prying every door open. Okay, but yes, you can do that. Okay, so Kizik, what's Otto doing?
Otto is meticulously going through the place where he's had the most trauma in his entire life.
Mm-hmm.
And he is looking for where he thinks someone would hide a data wafer. Because he's pretty sure that the guy who took the data wafer is the same guy who set the trap. So because he set the trap in this room, he's got to be in this room.
Give me a intellect roll, please.
8 + 2, 10.
Okay, so I asked for the intellect roll because I've already given you information that you obviously have forgotten. The female engineer of the facility is the one that built it. It's not a guy. It wasn't a trap. It was a defensive mechanism. Katrin has already explained that it was one of her people that built it, and it was designed to stop an attack like this. It just failed. So you already know that that theory is not true.
But also one of 4 rooms. He's going to search it the best.
That's fine. You can still search here. You pulled a conclusion that you have information that I've given you that would, counter it. And I didn't want to let you continue going down the wrong path if you could avoid it. So go ahead and give me a search check for the room. That's going to be a recon. Or, if you're looking specifically for hidden spaces, you can do deception plus intellect. Let me know which one you're doing, though.
I'm going to do recon.
Okay.
That's an 11 plus 1, 12 plus 2, 14.
You find the schematics for the EMP, as well as the journal from the female engineer. You said it's 14?
Correct.
Okay. 14 is a critical success. So you may find a gadget, gizmo, armor, or weapon that has been previously hidden in here, but you do not find the data chip you're looking for.
Guys, I don't think it's in the engineering room. I've been over it pretty deep, and I found a cool gadget. How's it going, Reese? Did you find anything in the comms room? Also, it's kind of cold.
It is a little chilly, yeah. So I'm actually just running through, and I know we had some, there's a computer room back here, and then I know we had some missing data wafers. I'm just trying to think if I was somebody that was hiding something or trying to put it someplace where somebody could find it, where that might be. And that's what I'm trying to dig through and look and see what I can find.
That check is your deception plus an intellect, if you want to look for that mindset specifically. Otherwise, you can roll perception to try to find it searching.
No, we'll do deception, intellect. Roll the 7. Deception is 2. 9. Intellect is 1. So we're at 10.
Okay. You do find a hiding spot. There's a single bottle of Terran whiskey in it.
Nice.
But there's no data chip.
I found some whiskey, but no data chip here, guys. I think that leaves us, what, building 4 and 7?
Yes.
Okay, we're going into hour 2. Let's do the checks for the ship first. So let's get Ghost and Tina to roll their checks. Tina passes by the skin of her nose.
With my +3, I got a 9.
Okay, very good. You can use your effect to make your next check easier, or to make Tina's job easier for the next time around.
Oh, I'll use my effect to make my job easier.
Okay. All right. Rex, Ronan, you finished up with Commando. You and Mike are trying to search this area. You're trying to search the accommodation block now? Is that what we're doing? Or what do you want to do?
That is the plan. I'm going to search the accommodation block. Remembering back to when we first searched it, we noticed that the one room that we believed belonged to the new guy to the facility that wasn't part of the crew. I'm going to start there in that room and then go room to room.
Okay. There are, I believe, 8 accommodation bunks in here. There might be 12. There is a gym. There's a multi-purpose room in the middle, which is where you guys started from, and there's a kitchen. I think those are all the rooms that are in there. I'm going from memory, but I think that's right.
Yeah. And 2 of the rooms were... One room was medical supplies, the other one was a bunch of food and stuff.
Yeah.
And then there's some empty rooms where people actually were. So I'm going to start with the room that we believed was the guy, the lone guy.
Okay.
Horrible with names and stuff.
The lone guy, you mean the guy that was waiting for a ride out of there?
Yeah.
His name was Spencer.
Yeah, that's it. Alright, here we go. Haha, because doctoring I'm good at. Searching, not good at. Total of a 6.
Okay. I'm assuming that was just a regular search, not a I'm looking for a hiding place search.
Nope.
Okay. All right. Well, if it makes you feel any better, Mike rolled a 3. So you're not alone. You guys are doing a pretty incompetent job of searching these quarters.
Yeah, we are.
All right, Kizik, what's Otto doing?
Otto's made it out of the comms or the engineering room, and he's going to go help in the bunk room. It's got the most places. He thinks there's the most people there, and he's gonna start in the pantry.
Okay. What kind of check are you doing? A regular recon search or the I'm looking for where I would hide things search?
Regular research, regular recon.
Okay.
Rolled a 6 plus 1 plus 2 is a 9.
You don't find anything but food. Sorry, Thodubs, you're up.
Sorry, I had to adjust something real quick. I am going to head over to building 4 and start searching over there.
Is his volume really low to anyone else, or is it just me?
He did decrease in volume.
I did? Okay. Hold on, let me see what I can adjust. I'm sorry.
Just eat your mic.
Yeah, it just sounds like you moved your mic away from your face. Anyway.
He's going to 4.
Yeah, I was about to say we're not going to hold up for that. Okay, so we're going to draw an end to hour 2, and we're going to go back to the ship. This is the last hour at the rate you guys are going that you'll need before you can get all of the G Governor chips put back in. And I need Ghost and Tina's rolls.
I get a +1 on top of my... Oh, I should help her.
Should have, because she failed.
Is that better?
+1 would have... Oh, yeah, that is nice.
Would a +1 have helped? That's a good question. No, actually, a +2 would have helped.
Ah, well. I rolled a 10, and I've got 4 totals, so 14.
Okay. Would you like to take your effect and help her finish? I'll let you.
I think, yeah.
Okay.
I would like to do that.
Usually that's not how task chains work, but I'll let it happen. It makes sense that you two are working together, and you'd see that she was having issues, and you finished early.
No, you gotta solder the blue... Oh my god. Tina, have you been doing the blue wires wrong the whole time? We've got to go back and do 8 of these now. Hold on. Let's go. Don't cry. We'll just do it.
They shot my dog.
I know. I'm sorry. I know you're distracted.
You sure we can't kill that one that's left?
Damn it, Tina. I would love to, actually. I had a 1,000-yard stare walking across with that shotgun. I was about to blast him.
All right. Rex. Ronan.
Yes.
You and Mike are in here. What are you searching now?
After we have completed our general search for absolutely no...
I'm going to go ahead and tell you that if you're like, I'm searching the whole building, just make a roll, you're never going to find it that way.
Yeah, no. Yes, I concur. We were completely unsuccessful with a general search of the area. So, Mike, I think we need to, take our best shots at one thing or another.
I'll look here in the multi-purpose room.
Yeah. And I will look in... let's take a look at the kitchen. Yep, looking in the kitchen.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a roll. You doing a regular perception or a hidden roll?
Hidden roll.
Okay, so that is your deception plus intellect.
Equally as bad either way.
Yes, but the deception roll is actually much lower threshold to pass.
Five.
5. Would you like to spend a player point?
Sure, that sounds like a good idea.
Okay, so it's a 6. So you see Otto going through the pantry, and he's literally just like chucking shit and moving shit around, and he drops a thing of flour over his shoulder, and it breaks when it hits the floor, and the data wafer is just laying in the flour, like right in front of you, and you bend over and pick it up.
Yeah, good job, Otto. We got this.
Huh? There's just food. It was. Oh fuck! Thanks. I found it.
Yeah, all you, man.
Well, we gotta get to the ship.
Well, yeah, we assume this is the right data waiver, but we're running out of time. Let's head back to the ship and let everybody take a look at this thing.
All right, you guys get to the ship right as the repairs are being completed. You may want to put off examining the ship.
Oh yeah.
You don't have to. You do whatever you want. You're the crew members. You're the party. You're leaving Dude Man in the thing.
Yes.
He's bleeding now. Dig it deeper. Just. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I brought as much of those as I could.
What do you want us to do with the dude man there, boss?
Oh, we left him. Get on the ship. Let's get out of here.
Okay.
It's as good as. No, we didn't kill him. He just stayed behind and
And
is
a
the
freeze
last person on the island.
He's just
There's no
sleeping.
power, so if his ship comes back in time, he'll live. But
Okay. So who's the pilot? Who's the designated pilot? Or who's playing pilot today, I should say.
I thought Reese is the pilot.
I can pilot.
Well, I can pilot, but capital ship, small. I've got a 1 in small craft.
I think Zane's the pilot.
Yeah.
Reese is the small ship pilot. Zane's the big ship pilot. I remember these things. Zane, hop in.
Go
Let's
for it,
do
Zane.
this. Yeehaw.
Zigzag, it's ready to go.
So what's going to end up happening here? Whoever ends up at the pilot chair. You are about to initiate a takeoff with about 25% of the thrust the ship would normally have. Now, Zigzag and Tina assure you there is enough power for you to break orbit. Okay?
We got this.
You're going to power on the ship. You're going to give me a difficult perception check. Then you're going to give me a difficult piloting check. This is a task chain. Okay? You may be assisted by any party members you wish. This does not have to be a solo thing. As a matter of fact, I think it would just be reasonable that at least one person would be in there helping you.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm
I
here
concur
right
with
beside
needing
you.
assistance.
So basically, you're going to take a boost dice.
We're gonna need it. All right. So first things first, power up the ship.
So the powering up of the ship, that's going to happen more or less automatically. The first check I need from you is the I'm calling it perception, but if you want to give me another skill check that you think is relevant to like looking at all the gauges and doing your pre-flight and everything, I'll take any argument you want to make. But I think perception is good for looking at gauges. It's probably the best you've got.
It's not the best I've got.
What's the best you've got?
Electronics, computers. I would go with the fact that the majority of the ship systems are computers, and I'm relatively versed in computers, so looking at all the buttons and switches and indications could fall under that.
You know what? I absolutely will take that argument.
Wow.
My one helped.
Yes, your one did help. Luckily we went with computers because bad.
Is it a 10?
No, it's definitely not a 10.
Is it an 8?
Doing the math, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's a 9.
It's a 9.
But it's computers, intellect, or education.
Computers is education.
It's a 10.
It's a 10. Okay, that's a pass with 0 effect because it's a hard check. Now you need to make a 10 on your piloting check. So now you've looked at all the gauges. Oh wait, with a 10, you notice that you are running on fuel reserve. That you do not have enough to jump. You did not refuel the ship.
Oh yeah. Hey guys, we made a critical error here.
You would also notice that the enemy ship is right over the horizon.
Guys, we made a massive critical error in not refueling the ship, and our buddies are here to say hello very shortly.
Hey, Doc. This is Katrin. There's a refueling station at the edge of the system.
All right, we're going there.
It's haunted and it's abandoned, but there is a refueling station.
It's better than certain angry mercenaries that are going to be a little bit worse than haunted. Yeah, I think we take our chances with that. Assuming that works for you, boss.
Get us out of here.
All right.
All right, now give me your 10 plus piloting check to exit the atmosphere.
I got somebody helping me with that.
Yeah, I'm right here. Come on.
All right, let's do this.
They're still over there. We got to go up as fast as possible.
Natural 10. Capital ships 0.
Natural 10?
12. Well, 10 with the boost.
No. When you get a boost, you take the top 3. So you only get 2 dice no matter what. You take the larger 2. You do not add all 3.
Roger. Then just a 10 because of my dexterity.
Yeah. That's very important to remember in the future. It works the way for negatives too. Okay, so you do a 10. You guys get up. It's a very painfully slow climb. But you do go ahead and climb all the way out. And you achieve orbit. Now, achieving orbit. Oh god, I hate that. Why did it do that? Alright, so a couple things we're going to change here. We are not going to pile everyone on top of the token. We're going to put everybody over here. Ship is now in orbit. The enemy ship, which you can now get sensors on, you can now see a little bit better, and it is a subsidized merchant. I cannot remember the name of it, but it was in that list. It's like the La Waka or something like that. Someone who has...
What's up?
Thank you. That's what I was waiting for someone to use their notes they had. And it's coming up And it can see you, and you can see it. And problem number 1 is going to be, like, you can't let it follow you.
Any ideas, guys?
I mean, we gotta lose it. Can you use the gravity of the planet to slingshot us faster to the edge of space? I guess once we're going ballistic, we can turn off our sensors and they can't find us.
Potentially.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We go stealth mode, but we gotta get, on target first.
Okay, it sounds like somebody needs to do some astrogation or some navigation. Navigation will be a lower threshold check, but astrogation is a skill you're more likely to have.
I can astrogate. Does anybody navigate?
That's a negative.
Negative.
Can anybody double check this math as we're whipping around the edge?
This is where Ronan says, yes, I will happily give you a boost dice. Because I'm sitting right next to you in the cockpit.
Yes, I was figuring I was flying. Yes, I will double check the math. Make sure I'm flying straight while I'm doing it.
10 plus 1 plus 1's for a 12.
Excellent. Alright, so you guys do a parabolic course. Let me see if the enemy pilot is anywhere near good enough to pursue you. Good pilot, not good enough. So you managed to slingshot your way past him and deeper into the solar system. The coordinates that Katrin sends to the cockpit that you're targeting, they are a ways out. So you guys said you're going to shut down systems. How much in the way of systems are you going to shut down? This is more of a zigzag thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna use my power plant skills. I'm gonna keep life support going, obviously, but all electronic systems, anything to thrusters once we get up to speed, that kind of thing, we're just gonna go into standby mode.
Okay, give me a power plant check.
I rolled a 5. I've got a +1 in power plant and a 2 in intellect.
That's
for
an
an
8. You may do it. You do everything. You tuck the wings in. You turn all the electronic emissions off. You turn off all the auxiliary systems. You turn the power. You turn the life support levels down to minimum. You depressurize the cargo bay. You do all the check boxes. It's a very cold flight. Now, how long do you maintain it?
How much fuel do we have?
So you're running on your reserve, which in this ship is 8 weeks of operation. It takes very little fuel for you just to operate. Most of your fuel is for jumping.
Right. Okay. Everything's on standby, guys. So I guess when the refueling station comes into view, or if they kind of catch up to us by, burning their way here, we'll be on the lookout.
Of note, we don't know when they're going to catch us or not, or if they're even following us because we turned everything that would find that out off.
That's true, too. Visuals?
Yeah, I'm looking at the thing. I don't see anything, but it's black on black. Kind of tough to see.
You want me to turn comms back on? I'll turn comms back on.
No. I think we stay calm, stay quiet until we get real close to the fueling plant, and then we have to deal with a haunted fueling plant.
Yeah, what was that about, Katrin?
Oh, so the station was abandoned a long time ago by the people who are running it. Before we even established our operations here, the scouts that helped us set up the outpost said that it was haunted. And they told incredible ghost stories about like a woman walking through walls, and the only thing they said is that it was a legitimate refueling place. Like, you could refuel there, but you didn't want to mess with the haunted inhabitants. I never went. They told wild stories. It could have been just to scare people. But the station's definitely there. I've seen the survey of it.
All right.
It's not like we have a choice. Like,
Yeah, true.
I mean, I don't really believe in ghosts. I don't know about you guys, but that doesn't mean there isn't something crazy going on there.
Oh, come on, guys. We're all scientists. The ghost? Come on.
yeah, I concur that it's probably not necessarily ghosts, but there's probably something going on. Most ghost stories have some amount of truth attached to them.
We
Yeah,
have been exposed to some weird stuff lately.
I think as long as we're not on any type of drugs or anything like that, I think we'll be pretty safe. What do you guys think?
I mean, safe and being prepared for anything. That's what we're hoping for. I'm pretty sure I could project a hologram that looks like a ghost running through a wall.
Well, so if we have the possibility of ghosts, I mean, how do you fight a ghost? I mean, what do you do? I mean,
Now we put the fuel in the ship and we jump back to safety.
well, there we go.
Yep.
Do you guys want some coffee?
Yes, please. Need to stay awake.
Is that going to run extra power?
It's like a instant coffee machine. It doesn't take a lot of power just to heat up water.
Then yes, your coffee is the best.
I've actually got a battery-operated Keurig thing.
I mean, it's worth noting that with the level of systems he cut off, you guys are determining how close you are to your destination by looking at a watch. Like, you're moving at a certain velocity.
Tick tock, tick tock.
Yeah.
I'm also looking out of the front of the ship to make sure there's no asteroids coming. To the best of my eyes' abilities.
I mean, while the chances are low, I totally understand that because, God, you'd hate to be wrong about that one, wouldn't you?
Let's run no power or low power, very low power, for about an hour. And then we'll cut things back on experimentally.
Okay, you want to do an hour?
Yeah.
Okay. When you start cutting things back on experimentally, what are you bringing back online?
Well, first, I think it should be sensors.
You have pros and cons to sensors. Yes, it'll allow us to see,
True.
but that's going to be the thing that easily gives away our position as well.
Well, what do you think? I think you guys are just paranoid.
Do
You want to turn on navigation and make sure we're getting there?
Do you have a sensors? Well, how does navigation work without sensors? My question is, do you have a sensors person on board?
I can
Zero.
sensors.
Okay, because I mean, there are different sensors on board your ship. The ship actually has quite a few, so it's not like on or off.
Yeah, we have some
so it's like
faster ones
different
and some.
banks. Yeah. Well, I also have a sensors 1 skill, so I mean it's really up to the team. I don't want to like speak out of turn here, but like I think turning like radar on and seeing where we're at in the solar system would help out a lot.
Alternatively, we've got a mineral detection suite. If we point that forward, we can see. I don't know how far out the mineral detection suite goes, but that would let us know if we're about to hit an asteroid, which is my biggest fear right now.
It's pretty big fear. Pretty good fear. You also have what's the word I'm looking for?
Gosh, depending on our velocity, it could be a piece of space dust or a pebble that would do us 10 too.
Well, you can turn on not necessarily radar. Words that I'm looking for. ESM kind of things, like
Electro-optical.
yes.
Yeah,
So looking for
So what you're looking for is passive sensors that don't emit a signal.
true, but I didn't want to just throw.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, that's what I'm looking for. I was trying to find that like official thing in there to. But
So
basically looking for their radar.
yes, you
All
could.
right, so we're gonna
Go ahead.
turn on passive sensors, right? We'll start with those sweeps.
Yeah, because that will tell us if they're still in range and looking for us. And if they're not, then we can start turning on things like our radar at lower powers to look for things like asteroids and navigation and whatnot.
Yeah, start with like the lowest power systems and work our way up.
Okay, so if you're doing passive things that don't broadcast, you would turn on your radar and your lidar, but you would only turn them on in receive mode, so not broadcasting anything. But the reason you do that is because the other ship's going to have theirs on, and you want to listen for their signals. The other thing you can turn on is your electro-optical, which is the lowest form of sensor on a spacecraft. It's a very powerful camera attached to an AI, and it looks for things like, I don't know, running into asteroids using a camera. What you would not want to turn on is your mineral detection suite, as that is not just radar, but that's ground-penetrating radar that's meant to be used from orbit. Everyone in the solar system will know if you cut that on.
Yeah, let's not do that one.
All right, we'll do the definitely the lidar, radar, and scan only.
Okay. Someone give me a sensors check to do the like World War II submarine thing with the headphones where you're going beep 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 beep. Yep.
Whoever's doing the sensor check, I can assist on that.
Why don't you roll it, man?
Yeah, I'm flying, so.
All right, let's do it.
I got the beeps, I got the boops, and I got the blips.
Got the sweeps.
Got the creeps.
All right, so we're talking sensors is education.
Yes.
All right, I got a 5.
Okay. I mean, with a 5, you forget to plug the headphones in.
Ah, man, I'm rusty at this, man.
So
It's a new ship, and
another hour cruises by. Dodub's like, I don't hear anything. And then one of the other players is like, why isn't this cable plugged in?
oops.
Oh, John. Typical John.
Alright, let's plug that in and then listen for some stuff.
I'll assist you again. Make that sensors roll there, John.
All right, you're throwing an assist.
Yeah, I'll help you out. You get a boost.
Got it.
Maybe. I think that's how it works.
Okay, we have a 7.
Okay. With a 7, you are unable to determine any information of value. You know that there's various signals in the system, but that's it.
You get anything, John?
Yeah, we're getting stuff, but nothing specific that is standing out.
Okay. Well, maybe we lost him.
Now, let's hope.
Are we getting close to that refueling place?
It's going to take days.
Oh, days! Son of a gun.
Yeah.
So we're waiting another hour. Zigzag, how about you take lead on that one?
Oh, you want me to take over sensors? Hold on, John. Why don't you scooch out of the way real quick?
Yep. Nope. I'll scooch. Hey, let me help you instead. Let's try this a different way.
Yeah, John. You gotta flip these things over here, and this wasn't even plugged in.
Oh, come on, jeez. I knew I was doing something.
I can already tell that check's going to be better. Ghost, what's that final number?
12 is the final number.
You actually cut the sensor feed on, and you instantly get returns, beep, directionals. You can tell the other ship is still searching, but it is way off course. It is not on your trail, but it is pinging the system hard with active, it's sweeping back and forth. But a solar system is just a huge place, and every minute you're getting further and further away from their search grid.
All right, gentlemen, there is good news and bad news. Good news is we haven't been found yet. The bad news is they're still searching. So, I know this is going to take a while, but I suggest we just keep cruising in this ballistic trajectory until we get to our destination in a few days. What do you think?
With your passive on, you can tell that it's going to take just about a week of cruising like this to get to your destination, because your course wasn't exactly the shortest route. It's kind of the difference between the most efficient and the shortest route being different. In this case, the easiest way for you to do your slingshot course to get away from the bad guys actually takes you around a roundabout way in. So you guys are going to have a week of very quiet time on the ship, but as you get further away from the searching party, you'll be able to bring up some systems. Your life support is online, so you have your tablets and stuff.
And we have coffee.
And you have coffee, and you can probably run the galley. I just wanted to round it out to a week because I want to give everyone the opportunity to say, this means you have a week of travel time that we are not going to fully simulate. So if you guys wanted to take a week of a study period or do something else with the crew or to prepare equipment or anything else you wanted to do that you can do on the ship, you have an opportunity to do it.
I was just going to say that I am severely handicapped when it comes to athletics, and I would love to be doing something that at least improves my athletics.
You're going to hit the gym?
Yes, so if we have some gravity simulation that's on the ship, I think I'm definitely going to quote-unquote hit the gym or do something if we don't have a gym on the ship.
You don't have a real gym, but you can go to the cargo bay and lift, heavy things.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do that, man, because I'm hitting these -3s. This is really bad. I'm weak.
Okay, so you mark up that you're doing your study period for that. You pick one of the athletics. Actually, if you don't have any athletics, you can just pick athletics because you're going to go to 0 for the first one. And then you put a week of study period in. Same thing with everybody else. You guys just add that week of study period in on whatever it is you want to start working on, or tick one up of if you've already started working on something.
I'd like to get with Katrin and look at the data cores and say, hey, what's going on there? They said they're looking for data cores. We found some data cores.
You found a data wafer, thumb drive, data core, big drive. Data wafer, small thumb drive.
I did find that one data wafer.
It's just really big distinction, really important distinction. That's kind of what we talked about, where you're say the wrong thing sometimes. That's an important distinction that we have to make sure that you're getting right.
I'm going to be playing I Spy, so I can get my recon better.
Oh, I love that. That's flavor of I Spy. I spy something beginning with B. Is it blackness? I spy something beginning with S. Is it star?
I spy something that begins with V. It's the void.
As bad as I am at this, that's where we're starting.
It's good.
Get lots of focusing on the doctor thing, but I can't focus on anything else.
Kizik,
That's what
so
we're working on.
what did you want to do with the data wafer? We got a little derailed because of the terminology.
I wanted to ask Katrin, who's also on her ship, what things like why would mercenaries attack this little tiny ice ball, and what's so valuable on this data wafer that like first I would ask her that before I'd plug it in and try to crack it.
Okay. To save you a long drawn out repeat of a conversation that's already happened, she doesn't know the answer to those questions. She's completely out of the loop on this, as is everyone else who is at the facility. There is nothing on that planet that was valuable as a scientific research staging post. It's little more than a temporary camp and a landing pad. And there is nothing there that should have warranted that. Every once in a while, ships stop through to refuel, trying to stay out of the main shipping lanes because of the war. She also, go ahead and roll, since you took that approach, go ahead and roll your social and either persuade or diplomat.
I'll persuade her. See what I can get.
Well, I'm just seeing if you completely trigger her, because that was very accusational, considering the trauma she's just been through and all the friends that she's just had murdered.
I rolled a 9. I got a 1 in persuade, 1 in social.
Excellent. So you do manage to pull this off without, creating a complete faux pas of the situation. But her answer remains the same. She has no idea. There is nothing that is anything that you just said that makes any sense to her whatsoever.
So what about that new guy?
Sometimes people stop through as a way station. It's rare, but it happens.
It's weird. I'm sorry. So I'm sorry for your loss.
She's very attentive to Eagle, who is making an amazing recovery thanks to Ronan. But everything that Sarah and them have told you about is that they weren't actually that good of a couple. They fought all the time. And then this event happens, and now she seems like you can tell she's got some mental trauma because all of her friends are now dead, and Eagle's the last one left. And she's trying to hold on. There's a lot of psychological trauma going on, and she's trying to make sure he's taken care of because he's the last one of her friends that's alive from this very traumatic situation. That good? You gonna spend a week just chatting up, tiptoeing around the conversation as much as you can?
I mean, I probably took a couple of days to get up my nerve to go talk to this lady, and then a day to go, oh man, that was not the right thing to say. I should go apologize. And yeah, she didn't know anything, and I know that talking to people is tough.
Yeah. But it's a new gameplay mechanic for you. You're learning. All right. Well, if that's all you're going to do during the week, if you're not going to take a crack at that wafer,
I will take a crack at the wafer.
I was about to say,
he's busy doing social shit.
Yeah. So he's busy there, fucking up, asking questions. One of the tech people will be like, "Just give me the damn thing."
Yeah, give me that wafer.
All right, Ghost. You're going to take the first crack at it. It is encrypted.
I have computers 1.
Okay, traditionally you decrypt with communications. However, I will allow you to use computers at a slightly increased difficulty.
Before you get started with that, my phone's got decryption software on it if you want to...
Oh, yeah, there you go.
That's good. That gives you a +1. Actually, it gives you a plus of the level of the decryption software. I just assumed it's 1.
It's 1.
Okay. And if you have communications instead of just computers, that's also...
Well, I have comm 0.
Okay. And your computers is what?
Computer is 1.
Well.
All in all, with all the pluses, 11.
Comms, communications, or computers?
That was computers, which is 11. Comms would have been a 10.
Okay. You know what? That's a pass. So, although traditionally I'd like you to call it ahead of time, please. But you guys, you do get the data wafer unlocked. I mean, it's got a significant layer of encryption on it, but it's not like a super high level. You can tell that like it was done by a person on the fly. And it was using a standard key that was something that they would know, because so like a library attack would actually work, because they had to use something that would be known. So you pull this thing open, and it is all sorts of reconnaissance data of fleet movements. There's lots of like video and analysis of it's obviously taken from various commercial ships going past shipyards. Becomes very evident that many of these shipyard passes are at the Amondid shipyards. So like these are not participants in the war as of right now, but a lot of the fleet movements that are tracked are Axis Powers ships that like are being cataloged and recorded where they're at. This is very valuable war intel.
Hey, do you see this? This is like ship log stuff. This is valuable data.
Yeah.
Well, we should keep this secret. No wonder those mercenaries wanted it.
Yeah, kind of a little worrisome. Who are we gonna turn this into? Like,
You want to give it to the dean?
I mean, that's possible.
Do we know anybody who wants war plans? Is that what you think those are?
No, that's the comings and goings of all the ships in the area that like used this station or the solar system.
And if we're planning on giving it away to anybody, I would definitely make a backup of whatever it is.
Look, I'm not a spy. I'm a professor, so I have no idea who to give this to.
There is one file that's not war data on it. There is a letter from Spencer, the individual that was left on the planet. Spencer's not actually his real name. We'll say his real name is Carlton. And it's a letter that's meant to be delivered to his family in the event of his death. Which it's one of those letters that reads, "If you are reading this."
Oh no, this guy, he probably is dead. Where's his family live?
They have a Serendip Belt address.
Oh, guys, we got to get a message to his family, maybe. It's just the right thing to do.
I mean, define right thing to do. Because all you're gonna do is get a lot of questions on how we know the status of this dude.
Just send an anonymous courier from Esperanza to Serendip Belt.
Oh yeah, like one of those singing ones. You know, they show up and we are sorry for your loss. You know,
Sorry
and
for your loss.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think that is very tasteful.
I've never had one tell me anything good.
So I no, I'm not going to sing that to Katrina, to Katrin.
No,
Yeah. So I know that that's a bad thing to do. No singing telegrams to a dead guy's family that we don't know. That is not the right thing to do.
Ghost,
Okay, I'll get started on a letter.
Ghost, your watch starts beeping. You had set an alarm for when you should be within visual range of the station.
Oh, hey guys, the station's coming up. Maybe. Let me turn on the right sensor sweep again.
Do it.
That's all right. So, and then roll it with a +3. That's gonna be a 7.
I mean, when I say it's within visual range, you guys can see it.
He's turning on things. Oh, it's just out the front of the ship.
Oh, shit. Hey, that's the station.
Looks like a station.
Does it have atmosphere? Or go to the parking lot first.
You guys are still a little ways away for that. Also, does it have atmosphere? Once again, that's magic, science, voodoo. You tell me how you're scientifically gathering the information of whether it has atmosphere, and I'll tell you what those sensors are and what those results are.
That was Captain asking the sensors guy. Hey, you guys know how to scan that to see if it's got atmosphere? I guess power. Does it have power? That's important too.
Yeah, does it have any lights on or anything like that we can see from here?
There we go. So, someone can give me a sensors check to look through the electro-optical and see if there's lights and stuff on.
Another 7.
You can't tell if the lights are on or if it's a reflection from the sun at this range.
Guys, I just can't tell. We're really far away.
Can we detect any the word I'm looking for? Station keeping thrusters around the refueling station.
Like heat signatures from thrusters?
Yeah.
Like a thermal scan of some kind.
Because most things like that would have something holding position or making sure it doesn't spiral to something else.
Well, if I can do a thermal scan, I got a 10.
You can do a thermal scan. It's part of your standard suite. And you would, on a station like this that is designed to refine fuel, they would use reaction thrusters. So they would be using something you'd pick up. So you do find station keeping thrusters. They fire very, very, very intermittently, though. This station is very, very well established in its current station area because it's way outside the gravity field of anything else.
Guys, it looks active, you know? I think we should try to find a parking spot.
It definitely must have some sort of power for it to keep those actively running or computing its velocity and ranges from everything. So, yeah.
Roger. Can anybody see a docking bay of some sort?
Is there a navigational pin?
Let me make this a little bit easier for you. Because there is a little scene here as you guys do get close enough, assuming that the intent is to fly up to it and, as you said, find a parking space. So Ronan's the pilot, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. As you pull the ship in, you are going to have the best view. There are 2 docking bays, one of which seems to have a cargo type C transport that's very well docked to it. Like, it seems like it's permanently docked to the side. The other side has all the cables, hoses, and a flexible airlock to attach a ship for obvious refueling purposes, and you can walk across to the bay through the flexible docking tube. There is nothing else out here. very little signal is being get off, but when you get very close, a passive beacon will grant you, like it will give you an automated text that says, "Welcome to refueling station 7. Please proceed to docking." And it'll give you a little set of coordinates for the open docking bay.
You guys, looks like we've got everything, and we're getting permission to dock, but that's about all we've got. Unless you tell me otherwise, there, boss. Heading in.
Dock her up. Let's get some fuel.
All right. Give me a easy piloting check.
Eight.
All right. You're able to get the umbilical wrapped around your main docking hatch, and you guys are able to walk across to the main hangar bay. If I can click the right button. There we go. Now I need my peoples. Let's see. Who's all going?
Oh, I'm going.
Oh, I'm gonna go. I want to see if I see any good ghosts.
Sounds like a good time. Let's do this.
All right. So we got all 4 of our main players. Are any of our NPCs going to go?
I figure we can leave them here to receive the fuel. Again, up to you, boss.
Yeah, does anybody else want to go? If not, stay here and relax.
Okay. You guys walk
We
into
should
it.
bring Mike. Mike's got a gun.
Mike's gonna shoot a ghost.
Look, I have no idea what's out there. I just would feel better with Mike.
I would too. I'm not gonna lie. Mike, help us out, buddy.
Mike's like, all right, I'll go with you guys. I don't know what I'm gonna do about a ghost, but I have been known to hunt a lichen or two. But that's another story for a different time.
Talking about a mold?
No, it's a long story, but I will tell you later on if you're interested in hearing it.
I definitely got to hear that story.
So you guys walk across the flexible tube. Now you got to understand the flexible tube is exactly what it sounds like, and this one's really old. So you're grabbing handholds in 0G and pulling yourself through. Mike looks decidedly uncomfortable without a vac suit. Who else is coming across, and are you guys suiting up?
I'm going to suit up.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the smart thing.
Okay, are you going to insist Mike suit up if you do that? Because that's going to reveal that he does not know how to use a vac suit.
You and me both, buddy.
Oh.
I
Mike's...
would like to admit that I am also untrained with vac suit, so...
Okay, so let me ask you this question. Why do you think it's the smart thing to use a piece of equipment that can kill you going into a dangerous situation? Why is it the automatic knee-jerk reaction, well, that's the smart thing to do? I mean, if you're trained in vac suit, it makes perfect sense. If you're not trained in vac suit, you could kill yourself putting it on.
Yeah, I have no plans on putting on a vac suit. That just really scares me. I got claustrophobia type things going on. No.
I'm just challenging your preconceptions here.
I intend on wearing a vac suit because I am trained in a vac suit. And until I get across the little flimsy tunnel and can check to see if there is pressure or anything on the other side, to see whether or not we need vac suits on the other side.
I go with Dr. Zane. I think he needs to go and check things out first and then help us out.
I'll go with Zane. I mean, this umbilical is like the inside of a vacuum tube hose.
Sure is.
And it's made out of very thin mylar. So, vac suiting it up.
All right. Captain, is this the way you want to go? Sorry, I wasn't going to call you Captain. Doc, Otto, is this the way you want to go?
So we're sending Zane and Zigzag across, and they're looking to see if it's safe on the other side. And then Reese, Mike, and I will zoom across and hope that the thing stays in there, because that's.
Well, I'm saying, once I get a thumbs up from Dr. Zane, that's when I'll go across. Because it's like go across and die.
And put in on vac seats when I'm untrained and I push the wrong button and I shoot through this very flimsy tube and that just float away in space.
Or
it's also bad.
You just don't turn on your oxygen correctly. You put the airtight suit on and you suffocate.
Yeah, that doesn't sound very fun.
So, okay. So Zigzag and Zane, you guys make it across and you come into this hangar. There is some steam venting from a thing on the right. The atmosphere is stale and cold, but very breathable. There is a small beat-up ship launch with 2 grapplers out of the front, like little grappling arms out of the front, and a series of hoses laid next to it that look like they're refueling hoses. Obviously, this ship launch is for plugging in the refueling pipes.
You want to radio back, Zane? It seems like it's breathable, but just musty.
Yeah, hey guys, looks like we're good over here. Just watch yourself on the air. Let me know if you start feeling lightheaded and whatnot.
If you say so, Doc, I'm good with that. Let's we're on the way.
Okay. You guys all end up in this hangar. There's only one exit out the back of the hangar. All the power and lights seem to be on.
The exit out of the hangar, is it a airtight airlock?
I mean, it's a bulkhead door, so if it's closed, it would probably hold atmosphere, but it's not an airlock. Airlock's a double-sided thing that's used specifically for entering and exit. You just came through an airlock to come into the hangar. But generally, airlocks are only on the exterior of a station or ship.
But there's like a massive door for the ship launch to get out.
There is.
Gentlemen, do you want to...
Looking around, this place is definitely built to a budget. So if you're looking for a lot of redundancy in the safety features, you're pretty sure you're not going to find it here.
I think we should use the ship launch for its purpose and refuel our ship as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Definitely concur.
We need to go get the stuff hooked up, and we also need to find all the controls to start pumping gas.
All right, I'll check out the launch if you guys want to find controls.
Do you want, for checking out the launch and going out there, it should probably be those of us that know how to use vac suits.
For checking out the launch, you don't want the person who's qualified to fly a launch?
Want all of the above.
John, you want to check out the launch?
I can check out the launch, yeah. As long as we are in a breathable atmosphere, and I'll definitely go give that a look, and absolutely, let's do it.
So Zigzag and Zane are going to go look for the controls to start pumping fuel.
Yep, I'm
Let's
gonna
do
go
it.
power plant it up.
So Reese gets to the launch. I just take a look at things. I like inspecting the outside of it to see condition and make sure that everything looks accordingly well.
It's old and beat up. There's a there's a standard combo lock on the door. It is locked.
Standard combo lock. Oh, what the heck? That's interesting that it's locked.
No, that's completely normal.
Oh, it is. Oh, okay. All right. That's completely normal.
It's not yours.
I was thinking the ghost actually locked it up or something. But anyway, okay. Hey, anybody have any mechanical skills? Maybe take a look at this combo lock on this launch and see if we can, crack that thing and get in.
Might be a key or something around here, like a boop boop.
Maybe the rest of
it's
you should probably get along with the things you said you were going to do before you get too deep down this path.
Yeah.
Copy.
Do you want a recon for checking out where all the mechanicals are to start pumping?
They're not in this room.
Nope.
There's a launch, that vent, a bunch of random cargo that's been dropped off, and that's it. The cargo does look like it's from a very dispersed, different set of things. There's a wide variety of things in these cases, and the cases come from all different corners. Generally in small lots, but some of it's quite valuable.
I'm not seeing any levers, levers, or buttons to start pumping, so I'll go check out the bulkhead door that leads out of this room.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan to me.
That door's unlocked.
All right, big note. Is there a hiss as it opens when I hit the button?
No more than normal.
Alrighty, I'm gonna walk through the door.
Now, the scale here adjusts slightly for various tabletop simulator fun reasons. This is actually a rather small room, but that droid is a normal-sized person, and this is just a much smaller room than the massive hangar you came out of. So as you walk in here, there is a protocol droid that activates, and it starts to say, "Welcome to Refuel Station 7," and then it stops, and what you would define as an elderly Southern lady voice comes in and says, "Hi, y'all. Welcome to Station 7. Don't be too alarmed at the condition of the station. This is kind of my legacy. And if you're here because you are stranded or in distress, we are here to help you out. If you are here because you just need to do business and buy fuel, you can do that too. The way this station works is you leave whatever payment you can afford in the cargo bag, or if you are one of the fuel freighters we do business with, you can take your pick of what you think is fair from the cargo bay and drop off unrefined fuel or ice to be refined by the station. Whatever you do, though, don't go over to the Type C transport. That's my final resting place, and I'd like it to be left undisturbed."
Wow, she seems friendly.
Yeah.
This place is kind of haunted, then, if you think about it.
I mean, there's a dead lady over there in the other ship.
Yeah, and her spirits giving instructions through this protocol droid.
Yep.
This place is very creepy.
Yep. So, listening to your conversation, the droid's going to tilt its head and be like, "There's no reason to be alarmed. I just wanted to leave a legacy that would be helpful to adventurers out here this far and this deep. I never wanted anyone to be abandoned out here."
Very noble. We didn't catch your name. What's your name?
I'm Janice, and this place is very much on the honor system. Obviously, there's not much I could do to stop you from looting this place, but I can see that you fine young gentlemen are going to be very honorable people and just work this place the way it's supposed to be. Unfortunately, I don't have a pilot that can run the tug right now, because the pilot droid had an unfortunate accident, and I have not been able to get him repaired.
Yeah, the tug. It's got like a combination lock. Could you give us that combination?
Indeed, I can unlock it for you, honey.
It's very strange, this protocol droid.
You know where the pilot droid is?
The pilot droid is in the tug, but he doesn't work. You're going to have to move him out of the way, unless you can fix him.
Hey, Otto,
Yeah, I'm here.
can you, we're gonna get that, ship open for you, the tug open for you. You think you could take a look at the droid that's in there and see if you can, fix it up?
A droid? Of course, I'll fix it up. No problem.
So, at that moment, John, who's been just kind of beat booping at the combo lock just turns green and the door opens.
Hey guys, I figured it out. I got the door open.
Excuse me, there's a droid inside there.
Good job, John.
I knew it. I felt that I was gonna get lucky and it was just gonna open up.
We don't really need the map of the inside of the launch, do we? We know what the inside of a launch looks like.
No.
Yes.
Anyway, so there is a piloting droid sitting in the piloting seat. Otto would very quickly be able to... Well, let's go ahead and do a robotics check. Why have the skill if you're never going to roll it? Go ahead and roll me a robotics check.
6 + 1 + 2 is a 9.
Oh, amazing. So, like, the batteries are not just dead, but they're fully depleted. They've been recharged and depleted so many times that they're just dead. You're pretty sure you could cobble together replacement batteries between the spares on your ship and what they've got here in the cargo bay. It's probably going to take you 1d6 times... Or 1 times 1 hour... 1d6 times 1 hour. I figured it out eventually. It's hard to get them words out.
3 hours.
So you could wait for those 3 hours and have the piloting droid attach the cables, or you could work on it while the guys use the tug to attach the ship.
Reese, you can fly this bad boy. Tie up the ship. Get her
Absolutely.
started.
No,
Excellent.
definitely.
You want to give me a hand pushing that droid out of the here? I can work on him in the bay here.
All right, sure. Let me get I'll get his feet. You go ahead and grab his arms, and we'll just drag him out here.
Oh, he's pretty heavy. Mike, give us a hand, please.
Yeah. This place is creepy as fuck, but did you see that? That crate's full of rubies. Actual rubies. It's like pirate treasure in here.
Oh, the rubies, man.
God, that's a lot of rubies.
Yeah, and over there, that stuff, I'm pretty sure that that's a collection of the original modern art, New Colchis modern art. Like, and over there, he's just he's pointing out all these crates, and he's like, it's full of really valuable shit in here.
I'm gonna fix a droid. Do you see any battery parts?
Oh yeah, there's some super high TL parts over there with a new home crate. I bet there's some droid parts in there.
Oh, we can give this droid an upgrade.
So
I'm amazed that people are still on the honor system doing this. If they have visitors here, this is kind of crazy. This stuff's still sitting around.
I mean, considering the layers of dust on everything in here, I doubt there's been too many visitors. But I also agree with you. Like, I'm kind of tempted. And honestly, I consider myself to be quite honorable and honest. But like, we are providing a service.
And some of that art over there, that should go to a museum.
Yeah, but also it's maybe haunted.
Yeah, let's have a look at this. Let's have a look at this. Let's table this discussion for later and have a look at this new home crate. And he opens up this new home crate, and those are TL13 droid parts in pristine wrapping and condition. There's all sorts of enhanced processors. There's all sorts of different stuff. But the two things of interest for repairing the droid are a solar skin coating that you can put on it that basically means that as long as the droid stands in sunlight, it'll have power or be able to recharge its batteries, and a set of highly advanced rechargeable batteries.
Oh, well, this droid will never run out of batteries now. You can just stand out. Oh, yeah. It's exactly what I needed. Perfect.
Super advanced parts you're digging through to get to it, though.
Crack the skin on those. One track minded. Gotta fix this droid.
So, John, are you going to be running the ship launch?
Yeah, so we're gonna get into the launch, so make sure we got everything. We're gonna do a systems check and get ourselves connected up and heading up.
Okay, well, you do your small craft check for me. We'll zoom back onto Zigzag and Zane. What are you guys doing in here? You guys have had your conversation with Janice through the droid.
Zigzag, I think if we can get that pilot droid up, I think that covers the payment for us. Like,
Well, I was kind of worried about that actually, because I don't know what we could trade. I don't say that too loud.
The particle droid, who has a mechanical hearing, is like, fixing the piloting droid would be plenty payment. I would be quite happy with that as a solution, especially if you leave the rest of the station unmolested.
Oh yeah, that seems fair. Okay. Well, Janice, thank you so much for providing a service to us wary travelers.
You are most certainly welcome, honey. You have a safe flight.
Let's get the fuck out of here. It's weird.
I mean, we still gotta get the controls for the.
Sorry. She would have adjusted. The controls are in here, and she says as soon as it's connected, she'll pipe over the fuel.
Roger.
Like this
Thank you, ma'am.
this is the actual control room for the station. You guys come out here. Did you pass that check there, Thodubs?
I got a 6.
Oh. So you guys come out here just in time to see the ship launch scraping along the deck, trying to pick up the hoses with the claw arms, and it's just gouging the deck, trying to get to the arms. And luckily, it doesn't sever the fuel arm, but it's obvious that the grapples are a new experience for John Reese, and he's not doing an exceptionally fantastic job of it.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. We're gonna make this work. We'll make it. Those stupid arms. We're gonna make it work.
They're not inverted, John. The controls. See, they're not inverted.
Oh, that's it. Okay. Man. Okay. I don't know why I'm so used to this inversion stuff.
That's just a leftover. Technically, that shouldn't even be there.
I was opening it up and I was like, rubies! Oh no, there's other things in here.
Hey guys, have you seen this actuator? This thing has at least 700 tons of servo power. And, oh man, well, look at this cool skin. You just put it on, and all he needs is to be within some kind of solar radiation, and he'll absorb that radiation and put it straight into his batteries. He didn't even need to be connected to a battery charging station anymore.
Dubs, you want to give me another roll?
You got it.
Janice says as long as we fix her pilot droid, we can refuel for free, basically. It's a pretty good deal.
Just to confirm, piloting checks are going to be utilizing education. Is that correct?
No, they use dexterity.
Oh, my bad. Okay, first one. Okay, so I actually rolled so I got a 6 that time. I actually rolled better the last time. I was assuming it was education.
That's the same score for you, unless your
I know,
sheet's
just different
wrong.
numbers.
No. I mean, sorry, your education's a negative modifier.
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay. But was your first one an 8?
My first one was an 8. Yes.
Okay. Well, we'll just switch them. You can now make it, so you can finally clamp hold of the thing and flies the launch out and starts connecting the hoses. And as soon as the hoses are connected and confirmed, then the station starts pumping fuel over to the ship.
Hey guys, it's working. We're getting some fuel.
Wheat.
It is a pretty slow fill, though.
It is nice that it's a slow full fill, but at least it's definitely filling. That's a calming, relaxing thing.
All right.
Yeah.
So does anyone want to do anything interesting? I need a repair roll from Kizik to implement his repairs. Shouldn't be that hard. Oh, look at that.
Boxcars. +3 for 15.
How would you like to spend your critical? It's not a trick question.
It is, because I want to steal some stuff.
That's
actually,
it's not a trick question. If you want to steal some stuff, you can just be like, I pocket that while I'm doing it.
yeah, I'm in the advanced servos and stuff, and there's an extra one that wasn't there, and it goes into my pocket as I'm saving everything else.
Okay.
Like I'm just packing everything up, and this guy is together. He looks good. Like he's booting back online, and as I'm folding everything up, I don't happen to notice that extra servo that rolled into my
Pocket.
yeah.
Okay. Anyone else doing anything during the roughly hour or so that all takes place?
I watch him and I disapprove. We're supposed to be honest with that robot. It was her dying wish.
Yeah, guys, we don't need to be taking anything. Like we've saved our people. We've done what we're here for. Like I don't want to deal with any haunted weirdness we don't really have any reason for anything for stealing anything. So
We are not criminals or killers. I just shot one guy.
I was just gonna say.
Zigzag's feeling pretty happy that there aren't sanity checks in Traveler.
Yes. Yeah, I'm just gonna chill. I might play Sudoku or something.
Okay. If no one else has anything special to do, the fueling process can end, and Reese can either choose to let the piloting droid come take the ship launch again, or he can go to try to disconnect it himself.
I think what we're going to do is let the piloting droid take care of it. We want to. I think it might be good for Dr. Otto, considering he is, five-finger discounting some stuff to make sure that his work on the droid actually does work before we leave.
Yeah, quality control.
I am going to say that each of you do see at least one thing that you want. Like, for Zigzag, maybe it's a rare cut of some super rare meat that's been preserved in there. Maybe for Zane, it's some nanobot medical treatment that's rare. I don't know what Reese would really want. Maybe it's a firearm. I'm not sure what Reese's trigger would be. He's an archaeologist, so it'll be an artifact of some kind.
Yeah, there's going to be something.
No,
in there that's really rare.
it's those paintings that he was like, they need to be in a museum. He knows how rare they are. So everyone will see something that is very tempting to them.
Is that a Holbrook spiraled ham? Oh my god, it's aged. Do you have any idea how rare those are?
The animal it's cut from is extinct.
They thought that they were doing some good, the people that started cutting these up, but it was actually addictive. This meat, it's addictive, guys. Oh my god.
I heard about them. Those are the things that only ate tobacco?
Well, they were force-fed tobacco. It's kind of a weird story.
It's like veal.
Yeah, or those little birds that you'd eat under the cloth.
My droid is good. I got all of the parts that I had left over, and I'm ready to go.
Okay. I'm not going to make anyone do any, dice roll checks. I just wanted to give everyone the opportunity to see something that their character would really want and make a decision.
Yeah, I really, really want it, but I also feel, I don't know, how many of these paintings are there?
Of each of them, there's one of a kind. That's what makes them rare, is that they're each originals.
How many are there?
They've got about a dozen of them.
How big are they?
13th LaRue.
They're actually pretty big. That's a big drawback. They're not going to fit in your pocket.
All right. Oh, I'm just okay. All right. I'm gonna have to I'm gonna leave them here, but I'm definitely gonna remember they're here.
That's another tactic you could take. Obviously, they trade the things in this bay for things they need, like spare parts and fuel, or unrefined fuel. So,
I'll be back for you, Ham. As I dream of you every night while we're gone, while we're apart.
Yeah, I might need to talk to that droid and find out what she's willing to part with for those in exchange for those that artwork.
okay.
If I brought that ham to Bart, oh my god, he would freak out. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
Okay.
So much fun stuff, but no, like, stealing is bad.
What was that droid's? What was the woman's name again?
Janice.
Janice. Okay, gosh, I was thinking Jackie. I need to ask her. I want to ask her what she'll take in exchange for this, or if she'd just be willing to allow me to take it to the museum so others can enjoy.
You want to go back there and ask?
I do.
Okay. So you walk back through there, and you come in. Hi, honey, your refueling's complete. You are welcome to leave anytime you want. And you tell that good doctor that helped with the droid that he can have that servo.
Oh, Janice, I'll let him know. And again, thank you for being so generous to us and helping us be able to get this together. And I have to ask a question. I work at a university in conjunction with a museum, and you've got some really good artwork in here. These, one of a kinds. And I was just wondering what I can do to see if you'd be willing to let that go so that we can put that in a museum so other people can enjoy them.
Oh, those paintings, that nice young man. Oh, what was his name? It was Renard? Yeah, it was Renard. And you would recognize him as like a very famous painter who painted those paintings.
Oh my gosh.
He stopped off and he was stranded out here, and he gave me that whole crate for one tank of fuel, and he said that I could probably get a full tank of full refuel at Fuel of the Station for each one of them. And I think that'd be a fair trade if you'd want to arrange that. I'm sure a university could do that.
So you're talking about me bringing in a tank of fuel for each piece of art? Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, I mean, that's fair, right? I mean, that's what we trade for. Got to keep the traffic out here moving.
No, I understand. I get that. So let me make a note of that. I'm not sure how long it will take for me to see if that is acceptable by the university, but let me see what I can do.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Janice. Hey guys, she's gonna let some of that stuff go for us.
That was a good role play move. I want it. Let me go see if I can ask for it. That was good.
Yeah, especially since she already knew auto swipe the thing, which I figured that was a given.
Yep, but between his critical and the way that she rolled, she just was like, that's fine. He can have that. Alright, everybody's good? Ship's finished being refueled? Pipes are disconnected? Anyone else have any lasting things to do here, since you guys have mostly decided to behave yourselves?
I'm good.
I'm
I'm tempted,
good.
but good. We'll get on the ship through the umbilical.
All right.
We all had to make noises as we are going through that umbilical.
All right.
It's like umbilical noises. Like, you have to.
You guys did very good on your morality check, well, except for Kizik. I thought that Kizik would fail something, and I'd have to be like, okay, well, you can't resist. But instead, he criticaled something and said, no, I'm taking it. So, players never cease to amaze me. I love it. But yeah, your ship detaches.
He was touching all of the parts. Like, there's no way that anything.
And you guys are going to be able to jump back home now. We are on our way back to the Esperanza system.
Grove Street. Home.
All the fun, all the way back. There's a whole lot of I Spy going on the way back.
I was about to say, I believe with this ship, and let me double chicken. Yep. So it's a week in jump space. Let me double chicken here too. 1, 2, 3. Yep, you can do them all in one. So you make it all the way back in one jump. And it's nice being home. You've been out on a great adventure. You have successfully brought back the missing team. And we can do any like little interactions you guys want to do landing. Obviously, you're going to want to talk to the dean. And then we'll probably wrap up for the evening.
We want to make sure that everybody gets proper care and coverage when we get back home.
Mhm.
We'll tell the dean all about our travels.
Definitely want to talk to him about that artwork too. We gotta see if he's willing to work out something with that fuel. I mean, those were one of the kinds.
I'm gonna get my massive Dr. Brain working on researching my mushrooms.
It seems like the kind of thing you'd want a university grant for. If only you had
Right?
if only you had a team leader who was well versed in having these conversations with a dean of the university.
I have to go talk to the dean. I was just waiting for the paperwork to go through.
The paperwork.
You have to submit a formal request to see the dean. Once the formal request has been approved, you need to wait for. If the dean is ready to see me, the dean's ready to see me.
You want it to be a bureaucracy thing.
I mean, you're
Dude,
high.
I just want money so I can
You're high, high enough
research
on,
these fancy mushrooms.
you're high enough on the totem pole. The one that has to fill out the paperwork is Ronan. You're high enough on the totem pole returning from a mission that you've been assigned to by the dean. You do get to walk into the dean's office. Maybe not the whole crew, but you get to do it.
I open the door like very aggressively, and then I go, "Oh, I'm sorry." But we made it back. We found the person. They had a lot of really good research about like a proto-Aslan, maybe society that existed in a planet before Aslans were supposed to be there, and oh man, I got a lot of other things too. But we made it back. It's the ship is still good. The ship didn't get damaged in any way, shape, or form, and we have a bunch of war potential plans, a bunch of armada movements that we found that was the cause of the other research teams.
Vex.
Sorry.
Dean Vex says, Dr. Otto, you can breathe. Have a seat.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, let's start from the beginning. That was a lot of information very quickly. I did hear you found the other research team.
Yes, all three of them. They were a little bit malnourished. They were stuck on a frozen ice planet, and they have substantial research about the proto Aslan society that they were sent to find things, but they didn't find any major breakthroughs.
Okay. Well, they were actually sent to look for Droyan artifacts, but it turns out that wasn't there. Is that what I'm hearing?
That is correct. Yes.
I'm sure that Sasha will submit a full report of her research findings, but I'm happy to hear that she came back safely and sound, and I'm assuming the ship is intact.
Yes, the ship is intact.
Okay.
We
No need for
we made-
any. So there's no damage to the ship whatsoever.
I do not believe there's any damage. No.
Okay.
Oh no, 1,000% there is damage. We took an EMP and a whole bunch of governor chips were down, and I think we're at like 50% M drive thruster power.
Oh, well, that's a very different story than what you just said. Also, you hit a what? An EMP? What happened? You seem to have glossed over a major detail.
Yeah, no, the most important thing is the research was done. We got our researchers back. Mission accomplished. Now the whole story, man, I forgot about that whole part. We were just like trying to land for the first time, and an EMP hit us, and we dropped 2 meters out of the thing, and we landed hard. And then they had a like very. There's a lot of stuff going on that planet. I don't know all of it. Sorry, slowing down again. You want to hear the details. There was a researcher there. No, she was a engineer there. A mercenary came in, and the mercenary killed everybody that was there except for the crew that happened to have been out. The last thing that one lady did was make an EMP and pointed it right above the landing pad so that they could down the mercenaries that were attacking them. But we happened to be the one that came there, so it hit us instead, and we
didn't kill you, obviously.
Correct. Yes, yeah. No, we're very resilient as a research team. We trekked all the way across the ice planet with the really cool little bulldozer thing. We have a lot of lice ice. Oh no, what are they really called? Crystal ice. No, those are bad buggers to begin with. I got shot. Those mercenaries came back. So we made it to the other team. They were still there. They were good. Then we found the rest of the crew that was still on the planet. They were stuck in a cave, and there was a giant ice worm. We got enough M drive regulators to get our ship back up and running.
Where did you get the regulators from? Were they have spare parts on hand?
They were from a downed air raft. So that's why our ship wasn't flying as good, because we're using air raft regulators. No, those should still work, though. Huh.
Yeah, but there wouldn't be nearly as many of them in an air raft. The dean looks like he has kind of a grasp. He's like, Dr. Otto, you may want to consider decaf.
Oh, no. Zigzag found some amazing coffee. You never tasted anything like this. And he serves them these little tiny cups, and I can drink so many of them.
Okay. So there were mercenaries. You said something about data?
Yes, yeah. There was a ship that landed between the time the research vessel landed and then a different ship landed. And on that ship, I don't know exactly how it happened, but for some reason the communications array inside the little tiny planet had all of this information, and it's on this data wafer that and I pat my chest and I look around and I go, oh, it's over there, and I sprint over to my bag and I open my bag up and I go, yeah, it's on this data wafer. But that data wafer has a bunch of armada-based movements of planets that aren't actually in the war yet, but maybe you're about to get into the war. It looks like they're a bunch of access planets. We didn't look too deep into it. We're not spies. We're researchers. And wow, that's our best hypothesis right now. Is the data that's on this is why those mercenaries were there. The mercenaries weren't there when we landed, but then their ship showed up afterwards. But then we shot around the planet really fast, and we cut off everything, and we ran away really cool, and then we refueled onto a like ghost station. It was pretty wild.
A ghost station?
It was a refueling station, and there was a droid, and the droid could talk, and it was kind of like an honor-based system, and there's a whole bunch of plaques of everything, and they gave us the fuel to make it back here, and we fixed a droid. I fixed a droid because that's what I do, and I got an extra servo from it. It was pretty cool.
Okay. It sounds like you had quite an adventure. I'm going to expect a full report. I'd like to ask you your opinion on something. So it sounds like this outpost that was for staging scientific expeditions in the area was wiped out.
Yes, we have the last 2 surviving members on the ship. Well, I guess they have their own opinions. They can go wherever they want, but that's where they are.
Do you think it would be a worthy investment from the side of the university to take over that outpost and start running it? Is there enough scientific value in that system to run those expeditions?
I believe that there's enough things there. We saw a big old. Did we see that? Yeah, we saw something that looked like a huge ancient town as we were headed out across. And there's something to do with the fungus. Dr. Zane is really excited about it, and he'll need some research money to figure out exactly what he has. And there's a bunch of ice worms. The ice worms are a little bit dangerous, though. I don't know.
Ice
if
worms.
the ice. Yeah, they're real big and they run through the ice. And we didn't see any of those over by the actual research station. Those were further away. And there are a lot of pros and cons, but I think that the pros would probably outweigh the cons because, I mean, there could be cool research. I'm always about researching things, but you probably know that. So, my opinion, do it. Advance the knowledge of everybody.
Okay.
But
I value your opinion. I will look into that. But I'm glad to see that you're all back. I will get the local repair yard working on the ship, and before we send you out again next time, I think we'll take more precautions to make sure that you've got the right type of people on board. This was a rush job, so I sent you out there a little unprepared this time, but we're going to try not to do that in the future. But Congratulations, Doctor. You are now officially the crew of the new ship, of which I believe you need to commission a name for.
Definitely. I'm thinking something to do with ice, the icebreaker, something. I don't know. That sounds kind of neat.
Perhaps talk to your crew about it and get back to me.
Of course I will. Thanks for letting me in. Have a good day.
Goodbye, Dr. Otto.
Yes, sir. And I turn and kind of jog out.
You left the Dean only slightly bewildered. Lots of info thrown out really fast. So, now it's time to have your obligatory, in the bar recuperating scene. So let's say, a day or two later, everybody's gotten all patched up and recuperated. You guys are in the dockside bar.
Yeah.
As you guys walk in, there's all sorts of news about the war on the screens. Something that, like the information you found in those data wafers, it's an ever-present part of the world and the islands right now, this big war. And they're talking about the release of the Charmax plague and other terrible things that are happening on the nearby planet of Herzenslust. I won't go into it, but you guys can read some of those updates in the Discord, and further ones will be coming out very shortly. All right, guys, let's have your debrief, and then we'll call it an evening. You guys have a conversation amongst yourselves.
Where did the little token go?
What did the Dean say?
He said, "Congratulations, we are officially the crew of the ship that needs to be named."
All right, we got to come up with a name.
Yeah, the maiden voyage was ice, but we also then saw the ghost lady, the ghost robot on the way back.
I like the ice theme. I think it's pretty cool.
I think we also kind of stuck to our morals a little bit, so maybe something noble.
I think we're missing a Reese somewhere.
Oh, I'm sitting on top of the table over here, but yeah, no, I agree. No, I do like the ice theme. Sure, something noble. So what do you guys thinking? Something with the word ice, or
How about the righteous glacier?
Oh, righteous.
Let's not get too self-righteous here.
yeah, no, yeah.
How about the noble glacier in G?
The Noble Glacier? We're kind of like it's a scientific ship, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we want to go with Glacier. It seems like slow or something.
I mean, science is a slow move of years and generations, and your father taught you things, and you're learning on the things that your father taught you, and my father taught me things, and I'm learning on the knowledge that's been on the knowledge, and oh, that's the fun part about science. But not glacier. Okay, something that moves fast. What moves fast in ice?
Crystal
noble
lice.
Skater. Oh, crystal lice. No, get those away from me. It's not time to feed yet, is it?
They move fast in the ice.
I wonder what the scientific name for the worm was.
I was just thinking that. I wonder. We need to look that up.
What if we name the worm if it didn't have a name, like a Cryolux or something? Glacio worm. I have no idea.
Yeah, Frosty.
That's probably its nickname. Why don't we call the ship like the Borealis, which is it was a thing on old Earth that would happen up in the far north in like the very cold areas.
That's kind of neat.
I mean, it happens in the south too.
Oh, yeah, well, that's true. That is true. And we had some problems with EMPs right off the bat, so.
But whether it's the north or the south, it's still cold, though, right?
That's true, but mainly it was like it was particles reacting in the ionosphere would make the Borealis. So I was just saying we were having some electronic interference and things like that. It would be pretty ironic or funny.
I think it just sounds cool, so let's do it.
The
Just-
Borealis.
Borealis.
Is that what we're going with?
Reminds us of cold, reminds us to watch out for EMPs.
As everyone clinks their drinks and agrees on the name of the ship, which one of you is now going to put into chat so that I can remember it later because I don't have a notebook. I mean, in chat on Discord. And you guys have a glass clinking, camera zooms out moment as you guys have completed this adventure. Next episode will be one of our intermission episodes, and then we'll be going on yet another adventure. If you guys have any requests for what that adventure should entail, please let me know. Sometime preferably before our next episode, so I can start working the plans in.
Well, we didn't get a chance to really talk to the dean about the artwork at all and that space station there, but that refilling station.
You've got intermission episodes to do all sorts of little tasks like that.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, that just throwing out an opportunity.
Yeah, but that's what I'm asking for is big adventure. Like, what would you like to do? Like,
No, I get you now.
Let's go get a ham.
Okay. Thank you guys for playing. What did you guys think of the adventure?
Thank you very much. It was fun to kind of think outside the box because I'm not a killer. So yeah, that was nice.
Yep.
I'm glad we survived.
It was roughly based on the module Mission to Mithril, which, most people who've seen it would automatically know. Plus, I named these episodes not Mission to Mithril. Well, not this last one, but the first two. And you guys did great. I did add on the little gas station at the end to kind of fill out some of the content, but I also wanted to establish the system a little bit better of Mithril, because that's going to become a permanently visitable destination. The future of that system may become important at some point. It may not, but I wanted to leave the door open for that to be it's not just a throwaway system. It's now part of our map. Here in the islands,
Nice.
It's right there. So,
Yay!
just a thing to think about. And yeah, what'd you guys think?
That was good.
Yeah, well,
Had a good
thank
time.
you, everybody.
How was the role play for, Kizik? You had to do a lot more talking to your stuff, less rolling of just raw stats and more using your words.
Yeah, I used words. I'm trying to make decisions, trying to point people to do the good things.
I mean, I think you're doing a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you handled a lot of the situations very well, considering that that's not usually your forte in our group. Anytime you change your dynamic within a role-playing group like that, it's an adjustment. And it's not just an adjustment for you, because, both Ghost and Ronan have taken leadership roles in our previous campaigns, and I could see them actively stepping back, like being like, no, I need to not be the one that just makes this decision. And that's as much adjustment for them as it is for you. And I think everybody's doing a pretty good job of not just stepping back or stepping into those roles, but trying to encourage your teammates to learn your new things. So I'm pretty happy with you guys' progress, and I think you should be pretty proud of how well you're doing it.
Woohoo! Still terrified of that Dean.
I noticed that you started talking really fast when we got into that scene.
That's what
He
Otter
makes you
does when
nervous.
he gets nervous. And when he gets real excited about robots.
All
It
right.
didn't help that coffee right before the meeting.
Yeah, he had mushroom coffee, which he kind of glossed over the mushroom coffee thing. Yeah, it was just amazing coffee that Zigzag made. We're not going to talk about the magic mushrooms in it.
Nope, not at all.
Anyway, thanks,
Nope.
thanks
Much.
everybody on the stream
Sorry.
for stopping by. All good, thanks, and we'll see you next time.